I've watched all of the Zimbabwe girls' games. This is her first action. So Tisha comes on. Can she make a change for Zimbabwe? Only 14 minutes remain here. We're expecting CAF President Patrice Motsepe on finals day, making his way from Senegal, where he is today. Cannons out for a corner. Zizipa is another influential player for Zimbabwe. Still cheering on the girls. But it's been difficult for Zimbabwe's boys and Zimbabwe's girls as well. Winnie Mapua is going to take this. Really entertaining player to watch. It's a long way out. She goes for goal, but totally overcooks that one, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed. But the idea was good. Just a technique there that was lurking. It could have taken the curl a little bit earlier, because you realize that some of those goals are a little bit small. The moment that you put it top right corner, top left corner, you might get a goal. That is always the idea. So the idea was there, but just the execution. But also as a player, she's absolutely good. Stellar performance, even from the previous games that she's been part of this young Mighty Warriors jersey.
You'd have no doubt she'll one day make it into the senior national team if she keeps working. Nice exchange of passes from Zimbabwe. Lakevia came on as a sub, but hasn't done very much yet. They'll come away with confidence. Sauli. It's put out by Mapurani. The captain, Anotida Ginoira. She's played every minute of every game. So too has Winnie Mapua. They've got to do something special in these closing 12 minutes here. So as well as the young reporters workshop, young referees, safeguarding is on today. I think that's a really important area of youth football, safeguarding trust, making sure that young players are kept safe from abuse and in various forms. There's also data analytics. There's been medics, young doctors. A lot of things happening around the CAF African Schools Football Championship. That's not a bad touch. Neshiri. Can Zimbabwe generate something here? It's Neshiri. She's kept it in. Praise Neshiri. It touched her hand. It's a penalty. It's a penalty to the young Mighty Warriors. It's a lifeline, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed. Could be a lifeline. She was probing. She knew what she wanted. And somehow, she was able to get that penalty. But no, it's a chance for Zimbabwe. You are asking the last 12 minutes, can they do something? Pull a rabbit out of the hat. Here's the replay of what actually happened. Neshiri, they're probing 2 minutes, just trying to get something there. And that's the storyline. It's a penalty. Zimbabwe could be back in the game.
Yep. You know what you want as a striker, to get it touching the hand. Who else but Winnie Mapua to take this for the young Mighty Warriors? It's Winnie Mapua. It's 2-1. Zimbabwe are back in it. She places it well. That's her third goal. Second goal of the tournament for Winnie Mapua, showing why she is Zimbabwe's talisman. At last, something for the Zimbabwe fans to cheer about. Doesn't go for pace, but deceives the goalkeeper really beautifully.
Yeah, it's all about placement, knowing exactly where the goalkeeper was positioned, how far possibly she could have jumped to reach out for the ball. Just measure that distance properly, and you could be able to find the back of the net. So that was Winnie Mapua there, getting the second goal of the tournament. Quite good, I think, and that's the lifeline for the young Mighty Warriors.
It's game on here in Harare. If it ends 2-2, it will go to a penalty shootout. But Tanzania continue to construct attacks of their own. The crowd has livened up a bit thanks to that goal from Diwini Mapua. Hafsa heads it forward. Zimbabwe obviously need to get it up the other end as much as they possibly can. Noadia. Lakevia, the number 18, still hasn't had much of an impact as yet, but she got a great goal in the first game against Morocco. There's Diwini Mapua, the scorer. And she was so good in qualifying, was Diwini. Denzel Mapua, her brother, playing in the PSL and for the under-17 national team. So she's grown up learning a lot about football. Zimbabwe pump it forward. Tisha, the number 10, the other sub, playing out on the left side of attack. Promise Tonganai still up there as well. Cleared by Hafsa. 8 minutes to go. Tanzania work it forward well. Eva. Target there was Mapau. Going to test the goalkeeper once again. Oh, that was close. Good idea. Just denied.
Yeah, that was really, really close coming in there from Tanzania. But you look at the clearing coming in from the young mighty warriors. That's exactly where it is disappointing. Yes, the replay is so close, yet so far. That is the situation. But the young mighty warriors really need to be clear, quick decision making to clear their lines, to make sure that they give a little bit of leverage to the goalkeeper. She mustn't be tested that much if you want her to remain confident in the encounter. So they're really exposing their goalkeeper a little bit too much by allowing them, Tanzanians, to play in their half.
Tanzania still edging the goal attempts and the shots on target. Diwini Mapua is going to dispatch this. Her penalty coming in the 31st minute. Substitution coming up for the young mighty warriors. Also in progress, DRC boys against Tanzania boys. So Diwini having to do all of the work. Tonganai, can they get onto it here? Lakevia with a touch. But Tanzania putting plenty of players in defence when they need to. Maka Zizipa. Lakevia, whistle's gone though. Six minutes to go. Zimbabwe, if they score, they'll take it to penalties if it were to finish 2-2. But still, we're seeing Tanzania attacking. It's Sauli with a cross. What a big opportunity here to seal it. Great save. Lillian Zonde has kept the young mighty warriors alive.
Yeah, good goalkeeping there coming in from the goalkeeper, staying close to the near post. And just slowing down that momentum coming in from Tanzania. Good goalkeeping there from Lillian.
5 minutes to go. Tanzania still doing plenty of running here. They're not sitting back. It looks like they prefer to get a third than to just try and hang on to this one goal lead. A game where they're playing for pride in these placement games. That's Angel Messina. So Hafsa is off. So Saidi coming on for Tanzania, the substitute. Zimbabwe push up. Time running out. 4 minutes to go. Not much distance on that throw. Can Zimbabwe take this to penalties? That'll be quite a way to end their campaign here at the CAF African Schools Football Championship. Ever clears. And winning that challenge there is a Hafsa for Tanzania. Throw into Zimbabwe. Time is certainly not on their side. Ginoyere just puts that out to praise Mahlanga. Still, they'll try to come forward in search of a third. That's Eva. Diwini Mapua is on the left side there. Praise Nishiri still is up there as well for the young Mighty Warriors, but Tanzania continue to pressurize. Taken well by Lilian Zonde. She's got to dispatch as fast as she can. Neshiri, but she plays it back. Every second counts at this stage now.
Yeah, indeed, every second trickling away, but the young Mighty Warriors really need to move fast. Tanzania have, for some reason, all the time in the world, because they are leading by just a 1-0, and for Zimbabwe, it has been really hard for them to get close to Tanzania's goal and find something, except for that penalty that was converted. But here it could be a different story.
There's Mwanja just over. Yeah, on the balance of play, Tanzania the better side. That's now 11 goal attempts to Zimbabwe's 6. They were in a very difficult group with Ghana. It was difficult to get out of, and Burkina Faso, who've been the surprise package in this girls' tournament. But here come the young Mighty Warriors. Can Lakevia do something here? Tonganai. Zizipa there. Once again, this dangerous player who's done so well, Noadia. Semi-finals day tomorrow, day 4. No, that's a given away. Neshiri, Diwini Mapua. Just over a minute, though, to play. Tanzania continue to use the philosophy that attacking is the best form of defense. Noadia gets past 2 players. It's still Noadia. The lay-on not ideal, but here's a Sauli. And keeper's been solid, Lilian Zonde. I guess when they reflect, Zimbabwe would say they should have started with Zonde instead of giving a run to Marian Mutezo. She won't be able to get there. Frustrating now. Neshiri in the final minute. The whistle's gone. Anything Zimbabwe can do here now, Sandra?
Yeah, that's a lot to ask, especially for these young girls under 15. But all they can do, they need to understand this is the type of maybe career that they have chosen. And there's the coach looking from the sidelines, trying to just think what the girls can do. But all they can do in this moment is what they have done in the training sessions. And not many of them looking at how compact maybe the games have been coming so far.
Diwini Mapua with the ball over. These are the closing seconds of the game. Yeah, Coach Irene Mwanza shouted so much yesterday that she lost her voice and couldn't do any post-match interviews. The 40 minutes are up. Whistle could go any time. We're still playing. That was not the final whistle. But that is, Tanzania have beaten Zimbabwe by 2-1. Noadia with an early goal from a free kick 8 minutes in, which went over the head of the keeper, Marian Mutezo, who should have done better. Then Mwanja on 20. Great finish. Winnie Mapua on 31 with a penalty. Gave Zimbabwe some hope. but they weren't able to get the equalizer, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed, it's quite difficult, but a good show coming in from Tanzania in this one, getting those 2 goals. It's all about your last game. Make it important, make it special. So Tanzania, they've done the hard work. The Mighty Warriors just have to get back to the drawing board, see what they can do better in the upcoming competition. But what a story it could have been, the home team, the host nation, getting a win in this encounter. It could have been a beautiful celebration, but hey, Tanzania have done the work.
Yep, tears for Zimbabwe. It ends here. Tanzania 2, Zimbabwe 1.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs trained and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
Well, welcome back. Now that the games for the day are over, it is Tanzania who walk away with all smiles, courtesy of that 2-1 win. As some of the highlights are right there on your screen. Ooh, off the crossbar. Tanzania did have their intentions. They did have their opportunities. Great build-up throughout the game.
Yes, definitely great build-up throughout the game. The Tanzanian ladies showed some good positional making, and also, yes, they showed some great tactical positioning. But the penalty, yes, that was a great penalty there from Winnie. Tough luck for the ladies. It's good for the game.
But this penalty there with Winnie, with her opportunity, she's been a sensational player for Zimbabwe, and it was really good for the fans as they screamed out, shouting, celebrating her per se. They did realize that the lofty balls are causing a problem, so they attempted here and there, but it was just the consistent penetration from Tanzania in that Zimbabwe defense.
I think the Zimbabwe defense was sleeping too much at the back, and Tanzania were trying to hit them with long balls that would cause panic to the goalkeepers. If we were to look at the tournament so far, most of the things that have been happening, most of the goals that have been scored, they have been scored outside the box, and they have created pressure to the goalkeepers who are a bit short. And if we can look at the statistics there, Tanzania had most of the attempts, 12 attempts, and Zimbabwe had 6 only, and they're the majority of the possession with 61%, while Zimbabwe had 39, which actually tells the story of the game. Chico, they managed to get Zimbabwe on their back, and they proved why they were the winners of this game.
Absolutely. Total attempts, look at that, twice as much for Tanzania than it was for Zimbabwe. Shots on target, equally twice as good for Tanzania. And at the scoreline, well, that tells you twice as better.
Yeah, it definitely tells the story that the better team was Tanzania. Zimbabwe are hoping for the 6th place for the development team is a start, and I hope for the best for the team.
So you've heard of Tinashe. We heard from Tinashe. We heard from Laurel, 2 Tinashes and 1 Laurel. Let's these 2 gentlemen introduce themselves, because they are part of the capacity building program that CAF has been holding throughout the Africa School Football Championships from this inception to the very 4th edition, which we are experiencing right now. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
So I'm Prince Korondo. I'm part of the Young Reporters program here for the CAF Champions Schools. I'm proud to be here, learned a lot, and definitely on TV finally. Yeah.
Repeat your name, Prince?
Yeah, it's Prince.
Prince,
yeah.
Prince, some royalty in his blood, 100%.
Yeah. My name is Laurel Mura, and what I can say is this program has been epic. We've met so many individuals who you might aspire to be like, and this program, I think it has been fantastic. It has been great. It has been captivating for us, motivating for us to go high and be top people in the industry again once we get those opportunities.
All right, so some of the lessons. Walk us through some of the training that you received and how that's empowering you guys.
So I've trained, learned how to write articles, how to report, how to handle the interviewees, like asking questions that they understand and avoiding making them feel like you're making to caging them when asking questions. And also, yeah, basically trying to make a story which has a meaning and which is human interest for the people, and try to give what the people want to hear and more info behind the pitch and behind the scenes. Yeah.
All right, how about this? I will come to you boys and you tell me the story you would write considering what Zimbabwe, both boys and girls, have done in this tournament. But for us, our focus has got to be on the results of the day. The DRC and Tanzania are currently ongoing. That game I can see on pitch number 3. But for the 3 games which have already been completed, Tanzania and Zimbabwe playing out in that 3-goal thriller. Advantage Tanzania, advantage Zambia, and was goalless between DRC girls and the Guinea. Now what we can expect for tomorrow is the semi-finals. Thursday is where all the attention is. Girls, Burkina Faso and Morocco. We also have some Zambia and Ghana. Do not ignore that bottom fixture. Morocco and Senegal, the boys. I don't need to tell you all the story behind that, but these boys will know that they have a lot to play for, but yet a lot to learn. All right. So I always find it interesting and funny to look at some of the stories. Senegal, Morocco, semi-final clash. That should be entertaining.
Yeah, it's sort of like a miniature of the AFCON final last time.
I like that you caught on.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be a high intense match. Some goals probably, and may the best team win. I hope so.
Absolutely. Who do you think has really impressed the two of you going into the semifinals? You know the matchups. Let's think about the girls. Who comes across as a favorite, or rather, who do you hope wins? I'll start off with you, Laurel.
For me, I think Morocco have done quite a good job. They have come in. They've showed in that they have the best facilities. They can break anyone. And from the group stages, you can see their games. They got their game against Zimbabwe. You could see it was a 2-2 draw, but you could see the intensity, the hunger that they were in for it. That they deserve to be in the semi-final.
All right. Before we do go, they are the reporters, are they not? Zimbabwe, both teams out, not in the semi-final, while being the hosts. What is your headline going to read?
For me, the headline will be basically the host out, but a lesson learned.
I love that one.
Yeah.
What about you, Laurel? Prince has it. Some royalty in his blood there.
It definitely caught me off guard. Yeah, I wasn't expecting you that you'd ask something like that. But I think the headline would be both teams crash out. It won't be so interesting because it's an emotional thing for us Zimbabweans. It's always said that to be always evicted in the first round is not so good. It doesn't paint a good picture about our developmental side. So yeah, I think maybe an angle that is focusing on us developing more our young talents. Otherwise, hey.
Okay, so here's a quick lesson to you from someone who's done this for a while. First and foremost, I'm glad that he did not at all shy away from saying, listen, I'm not ready, because when you're writing these things, you have to take your time. All right, gentlemen. So Laurel, good on you to be able to say, hey, I'm still learning. And that is a power that you should never let go of. All right. And then you try to explain the story and you told us, and we loved that. But I am very proud of how you approached that surprise. Plus, you made us laugh, and it's supposed to be very natural. As for you, Prince, I did love that quick on your feet. There's always two types of storytellers: those who are quick on their feet and those who prepare. And when they give you what they've prepared, they'll blow your mind. Either way, you will be telling the African story the African way. Thank you very much to the Prince. Thank you very much to Laurel. Thank you very much to CAF and the entire capacity building program that circumvents everything you can think of when it comes to building up grassroots football. From the reporters to the medics to the coaches, you name them, they've got it. Plus, they're protecting the dream, safeguarding, taking care of our young as they grow up in this very tricky fraternity industry and sport. Listen, it's been great. And now we turn our attentions, as we say goodbye to Gateway, we turn our attentions to Thursday, the final day, where we will be seeing all these teams in action, hoping to make it to the final, which will be played on Friday. But as Prince said, for Zimbabwe, it is one headline and one headline only. The hosts are out, but lessons have been learned. Good job.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs trained and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity.
de référence vous invite à vous connecter sur ces différentes plateformes pour suivre des analyses inédites, des décryptages exceptionnels et des anecdotes alléchantes. Venez partager des moments avec nous tous les mercredis dans votre émission phare Rejouons le match. Vendredi, nous corrigeons les copies des uns et des autres dans l'émission Contre-attaque. Et dimanche, c'est la messe de l'actualité sportive avec l'heure de la team. Venez vivre ces moments en compagnie des spécialistes confirmés comme Magellan Miguel Mbok. Retrouvez également le talentueux Erika Marage avec les décryptages de Larissa Ikouni. Suivez également les analyses de Joseph Boom. Sans oublier l'expertise de William Ndmoube, mais aussi Éric La République, ainsi que les interventions de James Lacroix et de l'incontournable Jacques Bilan. Pour finir en beauté avec Ayoum Certain. Avis aux différents annonceurs qui souhaitent accompagner le mouvement de la reconstruction du Cameroun et du sport camerounais. Une seule adresse, la Jewel Team officielle, dans les plateformes digitales. On répond au numéro WhatsApp plus 241 07 46 87 50. La Jewel Team, c'est la qualité, la passion et la vision au service du développement. La Jewel Team, votre média de référence, vous invite à vous connecter sur ces différentes plateformes pour suivre des analyses inédites, des décryptages exceptionnels et des anecdotes alléchantes. Venez partager des moments avec nous tous les mercredis dans votre émission phare Rejouons le match. Vendredi, nous corrigeons les copies des uns et des autres dans l'émission Contre-attaque. Et dimanche, c'est la messe de l'actualité sportive avec l'heure de la team. Venez vivre ces moments en compagnie des spécialistes confirmés comme Magellan Miguel Mbok. Retrouvez également le talentueux Erika Marage avec les décryptages de Larissa Ikouni. Suivez également les analyses de Joseph Boom. Sans oublier l'expertise de William Ndmoube, mais aussi Éric La République, ainsi que les interventions de James Lacroix et de l'incontournable Jacques Bilan. Pour finir en beauté avec Ayoum Certain. Avis aux différents annonceurs qui souhaitent accompagner le mouvement de la reconstruction du Cameroun et du sport camerounais. Une seule adresse, la Jewel Team officielle, dans les plateformes digitales. On répond au numéro WhatsApp plus 241 07 46 87 50. La Jewel Team, c'est la qualité, la passion
program that CAF has been doing. We've been telling you it's been beyond the games on the pitch. It's about building football from grassroots onward and beyond anything else. So, Olsen, first and foremost, welcome. Good to see you. How's that experience been?
The experience has been very great. I am very appreciative of CAF for setting up such programs for us and everyone in my class. We are very grateful for that.
All right, so Coach Calvin, you've been here, you've watched the game, you know what's happening off the pitch and on the pitch. Having Olsen here must be a treat for you and I both.
Chico, good morning to everybody again. And what an up. I give CAF 100% for adding this to the tournament, teaching young journalists, young media people, young physios, young referees, what it's going to be like in the next 4 or 5 years, because they have to take the baton that Chico has now at the moment. And we are just happy to see that happening.
Absolutely. Well, we'll delve into the conversation of the capacity building programs around the game from CAF with Olsen in just a moment. But right now, let's talk about the games on the pitch. Uganda finishing that group fixtures list top of the table of Group A,
yes,
just ahead of a Morocco side that seemingly came alive as the tournament progressed. Zimbabwe, the host nations, incapable of doing much. DRC Congo will be, well, taking these ones with some lessons to learn. Zimbabwe, though, are in action today, and they will be in action against a Zambia side who finished bottom of the table. Tanzania, Benin, but Senegal and Benin, who started off this group fixture, are the very ones, Coach, we are looking forward to seeing in the finals, and one of the favorites to go to the finals.
Yeah, you had the defending champions in this group, and they never went anywhere. They ended up third. And then you had Senegal, who we know are African champions at the moment, and they should play a team for the semifinals. But the game we're watching today, Chico, it's Zambia and Zimbabwe. It's a sad moment for the SADC region. I like to say that. Why? Because we expected Zimbabwe to come and really stamp the authority because it's their home advantage. They had a lot of supporters. But in saying that, as a developer, we did see a load of talent in the Zimbabwean team, and we did see a load of talent in the Zambian team. The ones in the Zimbabwean team, we'd like to know that in the next 2-3 years, they are now playing for Scotland or Highlanders, where they are recognized and they are known that they come from this tournament.
Olsen, let's talk to you. You are from this country. You are from Zimbabwe. You've seen the play. You've seen the poor results, or disappointing, not poor. Because this is an opportunity for people to learn, not just for you as a young journalist reporter coming up, but also for the players who will be the stars of the future. What story do you write from the perspective of your generation, and as you think based on the principles that have
Yeah, so it's all about going out on a high. The placement matches on today for the teams that didn't make it through to the semi-finals. Big rivalry always between Zimbabwe and Zambia. We're going to have the national anthems of the two teams. Zimbabwe against Zambia in the 5th to 8th place placement matches. Zimbabwe in the yellow, Zambia in the white. A fierce rivalry over many, many decades between these two at any given level. And both teams getting 2 draws in the group stage, hoping to bow out on a winning note here at Gateway High School. The pitch is still in good condition. It's day 3. Yesterday was intense with 14 matches played across 3 fields. Today we've got 4 matches, and this is the 5th to 8th place placement games. We had quite a blast earlier on with the Grassroots Festival. Tell you about that later on. Captain there, Dwayne Musona, number 10 for Zimbabwe. A famous surname playing in midfield, not related to Knowledge or Walter Musona is Dwayne, but he's with the PSL club Bulawayo Chiefs. Tawana Nyashapiri is in goal. Moses Marimudze up front as a player to watch out for. He scored a great goal in Zimbabwe's opening match. Then for Zambia, they're also debutants at this tournament. So looking for their first win ever at the CAF African Schools Championship. So for Zambia, they're captained by defender Emmanuel Mpongo. Tall defender is number 20 Thompson. Maxim Simuko, highly rated, playing in attack. And Charles Sitali also is a prolific scorer. So we have the toss. Our referee Eduardo Mans from Angola. The assistants from Ethiopia, Algeria and Uganda. All of these young referees aged 15 to 20 coming through the 5-day Young Referees Workshop ahead of this tournament. So many developmental aspects. Referees have done a good job thus far. So for Zimbabwe, it's been a bit of a disappointing campaign. The boys getting 2 draws, and they have been found short against the bigger teams, but this should be quite an evenly balanced match. Number 7 is Munana Bate from Prince Edward High School, playing right wing for the Young Warriors. Zambia go on their knees for their pre-match huddle. 6 is Moses Mukombwe. He's a defensive midfielder. Looks like they might be playing with the 2 defensive links. Charles Sitali, number 7. Keep an eye on him. And Isaac Nyondo, number 4, is the tall centre-back for Zambia. So playing in their away kit of all white. 20 minutes each way. If it's tied after 40 minutes, we will go to a penalty shootout. Zambia in the white colours kick us off with Maxim Simuko. And joining me in the commentary box is a legend of Zimbabwean football, especially when we talk women's football. It's a Rose Mugadza, and pioneer of the women's game as captain in the early 2000s, later coach, COSAFA Cup winning coach as well, and still very, very much involved in football. Welcome, Rose. Your thoughts on this game?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Steve. Our thoughts about this game is that it's going to be a balanced game. As you know, that Zimbabwe and Zambia has always played each other, and Zambia has maybe topped most of the games, but during our days as the ladies team, we managed to beat Zambia and qualified for the Rio, and this is it's going to be a very entertaining game, as well as it's going to be tough, especially it's going to be one in the middle of the park. As you've seen that as Zambia, they're using the 4-5-1 formation, and they are crowding the middle of the park where they need to have the dominance against the Zimbabwe team, which is using the 1-4-4-3 formation.
So Maxim Simuko is the main man up front for Zambia. 15 gets ahead to 17. Gets ahead to it there. Is Tinashe Chajiga. Zambia press early on, looking for something. Billy Mukebesa. Yeah, that's quite a memory Rose was quoting there when Zimbabwe's women qualified for the 2016 Rio Olympics against all the odds and beating Zambia along the way there. It's partly sunny conditions here. It was a very chilly morning, actually. The temperatures dropped quite a bit, but the maximum should be around about 25. But there's quite a breeze that they are playing with here. That's Russell Kamba in midfield for the Young Warriors. Moses Mukombwe. A lot of early pressure that we're seeing from Zambia 2 minutes in.
As you have seen, Steve, Zambia is maybe settled early in the game, and they're changing passes. As for the Zimbabwean team, we are defending deep, and we haven't managed to move at the middle of the park until this time around. But as we are playing against a 5 versus 3 in the middle of the park, we are outnumbered. So we need to make sure that the Zimbabwean team boys, they move as a team, as a unity, for them at least to outpace or outclass the Zambian team, which has got 5 in the middle of the park.
So we'll see how that works out as Munana Bate playing as one of the forwards for Zimbabwe, one of the 3 forwards, as Rose says. Yeah, a lot of white shirts there in the midfield with this formation, going quite longish as well to work the ball up front. That's Elisha Chikanda. Throw in given to Zimbabwe. So we had quite a blast this morning. Grassroots Festival was on as they again work it quite comfortably into the Zimbabwe penalty box. The Zambians, here's Musada, Jaden Shanga. Munana Bote playing on the left side, doing a bit of running early on, but it's mostly Zambia in these early exchanges. Both teams 2 draws in the group stage and no win. Here's Billy Mukebesa for the young Chipolo Polo. Zimbabwe really struggling to get the ball out of their own half. Mukebesa. See there, the tall 17 is the danger man. That was a hand, came off of Maxine Msimuko. So Grassroots Festival was on this morning. So many things happening besides the games themselves, as we had youths, boys and girls around about 9 years old, joined by an incredible cast of legends, including Amanda Tlamini, Spiwe Chabalala, who got the first goal of the 2010 World Cup, is here. I saw Trésor Loa coaching these youngsters, Clementine Toure, Côte d'Ivoire coach. What a lot of fun we had, Rose, eh?
It was fun, and it's good for the young kids to have these festivals, and we hope that each and every country will continue to have such kind of festivals during the holidays, because if they are being taught the basic of football, how to control, how to pass, how to move, and it was all about enjoyment at the end of the day for those kids. When you are talking of the under 9, you're talking of fun and enjoyment, and a little bit of learning the skills that they have to impact themselves when they go to the under 12 and under 15s.
Yeah. As Zambia will themselves a corner. I saw your former teammate, Quincy 15, Sita Tadelo Savanda, also getting involved there, doing some of the coaching. She's in the technical study group here at this tournament.
Yes, she has done very well in terms of upgrading herself, and this is a plus to Zimbabwean football. And she's working with Primrose as well in the technical study group, understanding what Quincy is doing. And this is exactly that we need as a nation, to make sure that our women are empowered and our women are going to take a charge of women football one day.
Great achievements. Nothing coming out of that corner. Zimbabwe pegged back and unnecessarily losing possession. Charles Sitali, what an opportunity here for Zambia to go ahead. Yes, a sloppy defending from Zimbabwe. It's Chinambu who gets the opening goal 6 minutes in there, and Zimbabwe just could not clear their lines there, Rose.
Steve, it's very difficult for you if you are defending too deep, and one, you are not pressing the person with the ball. No one was following the players with the ball, and it's very difficult. You need, at least when you are not having the football, you make sure that you are pressing the nearest player who's got the ball, and it's going to be a torrid task for Zimbabwe to come back.
I'm trying to play out from the back, but giving the ball away, you don't want to be doing that. And good finish, good opportunity. He got the job done there, did Alan Chinambu. So it's Zimbabwe 0, Zambia 1, 6th minute goal in this 5th place playoff contest on day 3 of the CAF African Schools Football Championship. Zambia coming again, their tails up. Chinambu with the opener, with the run as well. No foul, says our referee from Uganda. But they're winning balls.
Zimbabwean team has always been second on the ball in terms of moving forward. They're not mobile in terms of moving as a unit each and every time when they try to play it from the back. They're very slow in reaction as well. And I think they need to gear up the game coming to the second half. They're giving so much room to the Zambian players to do whatever they want.
So much freedom for Zambia. 20 there is Mwa Shilinji. Also of those legends here, and Shimunya Mwitwa, He was a player who very nearly made it big in Europe a few years back. He was part of the Grassroots Festival. He's got quite a story, has Muitwa, because he was caught up in a match-fixing scandal that derailed his career. He's looking well and was coaching some of the youngsters. He does well there, does Maxim Simuko. Still he goes, Simuko, the ball is in. Opportunity again for the young Chipolo Polo, but Zimbabwe will survive this time. Anything on the break here? No, there's nobody up front. Haven't seen much of Dwayne Musona, the captain, who's been influential in the earlier games for Zimbabwe. He's on the right side of midfield, but it's just been Zambian dominance. Here's Musoda, goes direct. Goalkeeper is Tawana Nyasha Piri from Churchill High School in Harare. That's a Blessing Katea from the Advent Hope Academy. On the field at the top of your picture, there is a Legends game happening right now with many of those aforementioned legends and a few others as well. But here comes Zambia with the goal advantage. Chinambu.
And the other issue, Steve, the Zimbabwean team is doing right now is that they're not moving as a block, one. Number two, there's no unity, there's no communication. And I think they must communicate to one another. And also when they're defending, they must have everyone behind the ball, and each and everyone maybe picking the nearest person so that they mustn't give the Zambian team the room that they are giving. As you can see, Zambia, they're using one striker, but when they're going forward, the other midfielders are very quick to join in, and you're having 3 or 4 players in the Zimbabwean box.
So that had to be punched away. Zambia coming close to getting a second. And Nyondo. Nice diagonal ball. Sitali gets the crossover. Chances again for Zambia. Maxen, that main man up front. They continue to work it forward. Maxen, but back to goal. He can't get his shot in. Zimbabwe managed to shut him down, but that's blunderous there from Zimbabwe. Dear. Totally fluffed a clearance there, Rose.
Maybe as a defender, you need to keep your eyes on the ball, always looking at the ball and not the player with the ball. You ought to look closely for the ball. And I think they need to be a little bit patient and make sure to make sure that each and everyone is playing the football around for them to have the confidence, because right now they don't have the confidence because they've not been able to play the football around the whole team.
Halfway through the first half, Zambia totally deserving their 1-goal advantage here. They've been dominant from the start. It was Alan Chinambu with a goal 6 minutes in, and Zimbabwe have had very little to offer. The number 9 there, Moses Rumudze, he's barely got involved, and not much either of Musona. As Moses has a chance, comes down and looks at the referee. I don't think he was going to give that, was he?
No, he wasn't, because it was too soft, although there was a little bit of shoulder to shoulder, and shoulder to shoulder, normally you don't get a penalty out of it.
Yeah, 4 goal attempts for Zambia, 1 for Zimbabwe. The one on target is the one that went into the back of the net. Zambia lead by 1-0 in quite blustery conditions here at Gateway High School in Harare. Day 3 of the CAF African Schools Football Championships. Sitali, great opportunity here for Moses. What can he do here? That was blocked well, and Zimbabwe just about survived, but they're putting themselves under so much pressure. Maxen Simuko feels he should have scored there, Rose.
Yes, because if you notice that it so many touches and none of the Zimbabwean defenders moved in to close him, and had all the time to not to control the ball. The first touch was very poor, and none of the Zimbabwean players could even come and press him. And these are the things that they have to rectify.
So another corner for Zambia, but that time it's too long. Billy Mukabesa, the right back, is up for this. Sitali. Oh, past 2 men, does well. So danger men here for Zambia. Charles Sitali got 4 goals in the qualifiers. And Maxin Simuko, the number 17, was player of the tournament. as they beat South Africa in the final of COSAFA qualifying. Pongo. Not controlled. 12 minutes we played. There was an offside there.
And out of the 12 minutes that this game has gone on, Zimbabwe managed to get maybe after the center circle once, Steve, and this shows that Zambia is so dominant in this game, and they need to push themselves up in terms of moving. Whenever they are playing it outside their defending third, they should move at least to join in the attack.
Yeah, that is the picture. It's been all Zambia. One up. It could be two, actually. That's wildly taken. A whistle had gone for offside, so they are being caught offside twice in the last couple of minutes. It was Alan Chinambu who got the goal 6 minutes into the game. Fifth placement match also on at the moment. We've got DRC girls against Guinea, plus the Legends match, which we'll tell you about a little bit later on. Really good festive atmosphere here on day 3 of the tournament with the Grassroots Festival on this morning. Well, that was another loose ball from Zimbabwe.
As you can see, whenever they are playing the ball forward, we are only having one person, who is Munashe, up front, and the rest of the Zimbabwean players are behind. So they need to move as quickly as possible. When they know that they're kicking the ball forward, they should just move, at least be in the middle of the park.
Zimbabwe with their 7 players from Rusununguko High School in their squad. They've been one of the best teams over the past 10, 15 years in schools football. They're not getting the ball up front with much intent, the young warriors. Munana Bote, highly rated, the number 7. He's not been involved. It's the 4th game in 3 days, to be fair. They played twice yesterday, plus the disappointment of exiting at the group stage as hosts. But they'll need to pick themselves up if they're to go out on a winning note. Here's Dwayne Musona, the captain, playing PSL football with the Bulawayo Chiefs and a part of the under-17 boys national team. Touch there from Abate. Chisango. It's wrestled away from him by the impressive Charles Sitali. It is Zambian dominance in midfield. Sitali again. He's having a good game, Rose.
They are having a very good game, the Zambian team, because in terms of pressing, in terms of being marked with the Zimbabwean team, there's none. So each and every time they have the ball, they can decide what to do. But when we lose possession, as we tell our players that they should at least retain the possession as quickly as possible by closing the nearest person who's nearer to you and making sure that you don't give him options to decide where to play the second ball to. So the Zimbabwean team need to do that, at least a little bit of pressing and a little bit of movement going forward.
So free kick to Zimbabwe. This is about the best chance that they've had in the game so far. Mare Mudze danced past 2 men, but no shot resulting from that. 17 there for Zambia, the main target man, Maxine Msimuko. He's had a couple of chances.
Maybe composure is lacking from Maximum. He should have done better in terms of scoring those 2 balls that he had within the 18-yard box.
Certainly he could have been on the score sheet. Zimbabwe work it up a little bit now after having so much pressure to deal with. Msimuko was ready to go. Here's Charles Sitali. Been so effective on that right side. 13 for Zimbabwe. Tinashe Chajiga from Rusununguko. Inside the final 4 minutes of the first half. Msimuko with the touch. And here's Chinambu. Alan Chinambu got the goal 6 minutes in. ZIFA President Billy Magwizi is here. He's been here every day. He's a second from your left, and it's been the 3rd international tournament that Zimbabwe has hosted in his tenure. The CAF for Girls Gift in December, COSAFA Under-17s, also hosted by Zimbabwe last September, and this one the biggest of the lot by far, as Msimuko's run peters out and earns a corner. And the ZIFA president told me he hopes that hosting this, Zimbabwe's first ever CAF Continental Finals, will lead to even bigger things, maybe hosting the African Nations League in the years to come. And then the big dream, one day, just maybe one day, the Africa Cup of Nations might come here. Fourth corner for Zambia. None for Zimbabwe as yet. 2 minutes to play in leafy surroundings. Gateway High School in Harare. That's not a bad one, but there's no takers. Any chance of a break for the young Warriors? No, not like that. Here's Billy Mukabesa. Sitali and Charles Sitali. He's been quite a menace. Oh, that's a poor ball. Zimbabwe risks getting punished. And Tawana Nyashapiri, he makes the save. He has a lot of areas that Zimbabwe will need to improve on after the break. Zambia continue to win balls in midfield. They have been dominant throughout this first half.
I think the Zimbabwean coach needs to change the formation, because, as I had said, that we, as the Zimbabwean team, has been outclassed in the middle of the park, because as Zambia has got 5 versus 3, they have the numerical advantage, and this is where we need one of the strikers or 2 of the strikers to come and join in the 3 midfielders to make it 5 versus 5.
Yeah, playing with 3 forwards, but they're not making an impact at all. The Zimbabwe strike force, and almost ghosting through there. Yeah, it was Simuko. Final minute of the first half here at Gateway High School, day 3 of the CAF African Schools Football Championship. Tomorrow, semi-finals day, and the finals are on Friday. There's a safeguarding workshop on today as well, important part of football these days, youth football. Is safeguarding from danger. There's a lot of educational, developmental things happening. Here's Billy Mukabesa. Mukabesa does get his crossover. Bit of space here. Let's see what the young Warriors can do. Chifumbu. Chifumbu still goes. Back to Munashe Chifumbu. He comes down. Referee says no. The fans not agreeing there. But the referee was not taken by that at all, Rose.
Yes, Steve, as you have seen that he was looking for it, because the defender was standing, so he had to bump into the defender. But he could have taken his shot earlier on. The first time he was in, when he turned inside, he was supposed just to take that shot or pass to Munashe, at least to take a shot on the goal.
Well, it's one of those where if the AAR looked at it for 10 times, they might say that was a kick on the leg and it was a penalty, but it would have been soft if it was awarded. Half-time here then, Zambia. Alan Chinambu scored on 6 minutes. Zambia completely dominating the first half here. And Zimbabwe will need to up their game in the second half in this 5th place placement match. Zambia will be very, very happy, but Zimbabwe looking rather weak in that first half. We take a break here at Gateway High School. It is Zimbabwe 0, Zambia 1.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
That is unforgettable, unless you are, of course, from Zimbabwe, Harare, because the fans have been treated to some Zambia future class football, and that is exactly what we expect to see. I am, of course, looking at this game as a learning curve, and one of the things that I love to do is watch this game next to the coach. All right. And that's who we'll be speaking to, because the coach has this ability to look at the game from a developmental point of view. He wants to see a lot of players play, but apart from that, he wants to see them coached in the right way. I'll be delving into a personal conversation I just had with him, and I know he didn't expect that, but we'll be doing that. I'm joined by Tinashe Matambo as well. Did I say the second name right? Tinashe Matambo, absolutely. And I am joined in here by Tinashe. First of all, we had Olsen, now we have Tinashe. Tinashe, your experience off the pitch.
Oh, well, so
all right, so there we go. I'll come to you in just a second. I apologize. We are doing these highlights. It's just one goal, but what a strike it was. What a good build-up. You were watching the game, Tinashe. Your thoughts?
yeah, so Zambia, they were the better side, trying to search for a win for the first goal, and we saw Zimbabwe were panicking. We saw Zimbabwe panicking at the first half. They were failing to create meaningful chances. They're often relying on counter-attacks, but they're often intercepted by the towering, powerful Zambia defense. Zimbabwe were made to pay the price for the silly defending when Zambia were allowed to take the lead early in the 6 minutes.
It's the misplaced passes, Coach. Sorry, Tinashe. As you can see there, shot from distance. The ground with the ball bobbling just in front of the keeper. Not an easy one to save. He does one of the many saves he's had to come up with against Zambia, Coach. And the numbers tell the same story. Dominance for Zambia.
Yes, Chico, from a coaching point of view, and when I look at how Zambia is trying to come at Zimbabwe and how Zimbabwe is trying to play on the break. When I look at what's happening on the pitch, I always tell myself is when you developing players, don't play the ball into competition. And this is what's happening is that when Zambia have the ball, all they're doing is they're building up until the halfway line, and then they throw the ball into competition against the Zimbabwean defense. And yes, the goal looks like it is well deserved, but I look at if you have clever Zimbabwean defenders, they're able to take it out. I am saying is, guys, watch the bigger teams play in the world and find out why. Because all the balls that we are struggling with now is our players are always putting it into competition. We put it into spaces that there's 5, 6, 10 players around that ball. And keep the ball away from the competition within the game so that you can build the 1-2 passes and the third man running within the last third of the game, and you'll see better goals.
Absolutely. What I love about what Coach Kevin has just pointed out is the style of play that we are not utilizing, especially as we
vous invite à vous connecter sur ces différentes plateformes pour suivre des analyses inédites, des décryptages exceptionnels et des anecdotes alléchantes. Venez partager des moments avec nous tous les mercredis dans votre émission phare Rejouons le match. Vendredi, nous corrigeons les copies des uns et des autres dans l'émission Contre-attaque. Et dimanche, c'est la messe de l'actualité sportive avec l'heure de la team. Venez vivre ces moments en compagnie des spécialistes confirmés comme Magellan Miguel Mbok. Retrouvez également le talentueux Erika Marage avec les décryptages de Larissa Ikouni. Suivez également les analyses de Joseph Boom. Sans oublier l'expertise de William Ndmoubé, mais aussi Eric La République, ainsi que les interventions de James Lacroix et de l'incontournable Jacques Bilan. Pour finir en beauté avec Eyoum Certain. Avis aux différents annonceurs qui souhaitent accompagner le mouvement de la reconstruction du Cameroun et du sport camerounais. Une seule adresse, la Jewel Team officielle, dans les plateformes digitales. On répond au numéro WhatsApp plus 241 07 46 87 50. La Jewel Team, c'est la qualité, la passion et la vision au service du développement.
is off. And Mwadzile Moyo, he's off, and it's Gwande who comes on. That's a change at the start of the second half. Meanwhile, the Legends game is on at the moment as well. Amanda Flamini, our legend, as part of the commentary team, is in action right now as we speak. Spiwe Chabalala has scored. Spiwe Chabalala has scored in the Legends match. 4 goals. We'll tell you more a little bit later on, but we've had so much fun this morning with the Grassroots Festival. Zambia attack, though, in this 5th place placement match. Laurel Mura from the Young Reporters program with us here on commentary. So many legends here. It's quite a pleasure to be here, isn't it? To see a mistake there and nearly getting punished. And Zimbabwe should have got an equalizer there.
Yes, Zimbabwe should have got an equalizer, but I think they're a bit shaky. They are not putting so much pressure on Zambia. They need to keep on pressuring them so that they can get something from these kind of chances that are supposed to be getting in the back of the net.
Captain nearly gives away an own goal. Emmanuel Mponga lucky to escape there. So Zimbabwe indeed playing with a bit more urgency now. Kamba, that's number 4, Kamba. Russell Kamba, but need to be more precise there. Yeah, so Laurel, all these legends all around us here. It's amazing. Spiwe Chabalala scoring 4 goals in this Legends exhibition match.
It's really quite interesting to see these legends with us here, and it's really captivating. It's really, it moves us to want to do more and experience the greatness of these guys for what they've done for football. It's really quite amazing and remarkable.
I got a picture with Lamana Tresor Loa, the DRC great, played for Newcastle and Portsmouth. Who did you get pics with?
With coach Calvin Johnson, who happens to be one of the coaches who was part of our Ali when they got that medal,
Right.
the 3rd medal in the Club World Cup.
When he was in the Al Ahly setup with Pitso Mosimane. Wow. Yeah, he told us great stories on the Young Reporters Workshop last week, Friday. 2 minutes in here. Zambia still lead by 1-0. Is there going to be some consolation for the hosts at least? The girls are playing after this, by the way, against Tanzania. Have that one live for you too. That's taken by Mwashilinji. Zimbabwe certainly need to up their game. The main striker there, Moses Maremudze. But he's shut down by Mponga. Still haven't seen Dwayne Musona making much of an impact. He's one of the key players for Zimbabwe, the captain. Still plenty of time. And if Zimbabwe can equalize, if it's level after the 40 minutes, we'll go to a penalty shootout. There was a quick clearance by Tawana Nyashapiri. At least we're seeing Zimbabwe attacking more in the second half here. In blustery conditions at the moment. Zambia will just slow things down. Mukebesa. So the pitch not quite to full length. It's about an 80-meter length pitch, so it's a little easier to go direct if that's your approach. Here's Munana Bote. Space here in midfield for the Young Warriors. Conway there was found exposed. Russell Kamba puts the ball forward, but there's a lack of communication here, I think, Laurel.
Yeah, I think Moses has been in good positions, but the midfield has been failing to give him the proper balls that he needs so that he can explode into the 18 area of the opposition.
As Zambia win that midfield battle, Elisha Chikanda. Is there something in this game for the Young Warriors? Here's Mpongo, the captain for Zambia. Still Musona not having done that much in the game so far. Referee's got to give a free kick there. Very dangerous area and an opportunity for Zimbabwe as Tinashe Chajiga was brought down. Correct call, I think, Laurel.
It was a correct call. The Zimbabwean boys have been trying to counter the spaces that have been left by the opposition, the Zambian team. But the young Chipolopolos have been closing the gap for Zimbabwe, and it is quite a good free kick for them.
So Chifumbu, it was the player who was brought down. 7 fouls committed by Zambia, 2 by Zimbabwe. It's pretty physical, actually, for 25 minutes of football. That's quite a high foul count. Munashe Chifumbu, who earned the free kick, is going to take it. It's very central, 25 yards out. Opportunity for the young Warriors. Coming up there as well is Gwande, who came on as a sub. Elvis Chisango is there as well. 3 players behind it. Oh, it's wasted way too high. It did not drop down. A squandered opportunity for the young Warriors.
Yeah, ballooning such an effort on top of the bar, it's quite crazy. And I think Zimbabwe are not taking their chances as the game progresses. They will need to find these chances in the back of the net if they want to get a result in this game.
And we got update from the Legends game that was taking place close by in the next field. 4-1, Kudzai Chitima scored twice. Nicholas Grinde, Ezra Nyandoro, the former Mamelodi Sundowns and Zimbabwe midfielder, on the score sheet there. And we'll hear more about that. It was a fun thing. Spiwe Chabalala also in action, featuring, and Lua and Amanda Clamini. Here comes Zambia now. A second goal would put them in a comfortable position here. Can he finish it off? Yes, it's a simple finish. It is put away by Chinambu, his second goal of the game. Alan Chinambu, he was in the right place, and the Zimbabwe defense caught napping. It's Zimbabwe 0, Zambia 2. Yeah, well, that will not be good for Zimbabwe to look at. The defense is caught flat-footed. There's 3 defenders there. Nicely cut back, and it's a perfect finish.
That's a perfect finish. The Zimbabwean defense was sleeping, and it is a well-deserved goal. Zambia have been sharp on front of goal, and this is a result of their agency, their power, their zeal to try and get something from the chances that they are getting compared to Zimbabwe.
Charles Sitali with the assist. The young Chipolopolo now very comfortable over the young Warriors. They're finding pockets of space as well. Moses Mukombwe rather laboured his effort there, though, did Mukebesa. Now here's Isaac Nyondo. They'll continue the pressure. So Zambia and Zimbabwe both getting draws. 2 draws in the group stage, but no wins. And Zambia will be very encouraged if they can maintain this. Here's Musoda, the left back for Zambia. Sitali's been good up front. Simoko, he hasn't had that much of the ball, but he's had a couple of opportunities. Maxim Simoko, the centre forward. And still for the young Warriors, Dwayne Musona. There he is with the touch, but he hasn't made the impact that they would have been expecting. Gwande now. Moses Maramudze, the key striker. Musona, but he puts it well off target.
Musona has been brilliant in this tournament. If we were to look at, he's been showing maturity and trying to assist in all aspects of the team. And also Kamba, ever since the last game that he played, he's been brilliant. He came in as a sub, and he provided that muscle in the midfield. And today he starts again in the game, which also proves that his presence has been quite phenomenal for the team. But the results haven't been going in the right way.
More chances here for Zambia. And still seeing Sitali and Chinambu looking very effective. Dwayne Musona played in the Kasafa under-17s last year when he was only 14. Oh, that's another bad touch, offside. It whistled just over. And Zimbabwe with Elisha Chikanda putting the shot in. Yeah, they're really finding themselves exposed in defense are the young Warriors. Still quite a bit of a breeze here at Gateway High School, which hosted the 2023 COSAFA qualifiers for this competition. Still Zimbabwe can't get their way through the Zambia defense. Moses Maramudze, he's working, he's trying. 10 minutes to play. It's 20 minutes each way. Sitali's quite a handful down that right flank. He's been impressive. Now the young Warriors can just settle with their Chisango. But it's in that midfield where Zambia have been so effective throughout. Chifumbu wins it back. Might just try from range here, but he skews his effort to Moses Maremudze. It's a frustrating situation for Zimbabwe.
It is quite frustrating if we are to look at the number of chances that they've created, and all of them, they have failed to capitalize on their chances. And Zambia, with just a handful of chances, they have managed to put the ball back in the net. And as the Warriors, it's quite a different story from what we are seeing here.
As Zambia come closer again here, Sitali, good game he's had. Laurel Mura from our Young Reporters program with me on commentary duties in the second half of this contest, as we've had such a lot happening all around this tournament on these sidelines. Few Zimbabwe fans in here. Won't be going any further. This is the end of the road for both Zimbabwe and Zambia in these placement matches. What can they do from this set piece? It flashes off the post there. That was very tight down offside call. Now, how close was this then?
It was really close, and again, Zimbabwe's defense, they're caught napping there. They need to improve. They need to up their game if they're to try and get something in the remaining 9 minutes, which feels quite a big job for them to do, because they haven't been getting their chances, and it's a pity for the Warriors fans and the families that are here to watch the young boys do what they do best.
Certainly Moses Maramudze is putting in a lot of work here. Chifumbu gives chase, number 9 Maramudze. He's trying, but it's not working for Zimbabwe. 8 minutes to go. Girls game in progress, second half. DRC 0, Guinea 0, the latest there. Still, Chinambu has been getting into good areas as well. Here's Mukebesa now for Zambia. Billy Mukebesa. Moses was in exactly the right place, but a good goalkeeping from Atawan and Yasha Piri. Maxim Simuko wanted to flash a header in. Substitution, triple substitution coming up for Zambia. Triple substitution is loading.
The job is done for Zambia, and now they want to bring in fresh legs to exploit this tired Zimbabwean team, which is quite good for the development of the players. Because remember, this program is not just meant to, for you to win, but for the development of all the players that are involved.
Absolutely. That's good from the coach, Evaristo Mukandawire, to give others a run. 7 minutes to go. Zambia pretty comfortable. So the other game, DRC girls 0-0 with Guinea. As it stands, they're going to be going to a penalty shootout. So coming on, Tabo Sindwa, jersey 8, Simon Nyarenda, and Innocent Witola also on. Change of captain for Zimbabwe then, with that change. Marlon Zuruvi now with the captain's armband. Can Zimbabwe salvage something here? Inside the final 6 minutes at Gateway High School, Zurui the sub with a touch, but it's a poor one. Fourth game in 3 days for both teams. Zimbabwe 2 games yesterday and Zambia, so it's been taxing. Emmanuel Mponga, the captain, goes long and direct for the young Chipolo Polo. Chisango. So that substitution for Zimbabwe quite telling there, because Dwayne Musono was short of his best today.
Dwayne Musono has been quite instrumental for the team. He's been providing all the energy that the team has been needing in the midfield, and he's had to switch positions from number 10 to number 8 to try and provide relief in the midfield, because in the past 2 games, if you are to look, they have been overpowered. They lack physicality compared to other opponents that they played against DRC and Morocco. I think it was quite a different story because of the physicality that they have, in as much as the technical ability they do have it. Yeah.
Zambia 58% of the possession. Zimbabwe scrapping for something. Zurui, no free kick there, no foul, says the referee. Correct decision, I'd say, as well. Here comes Chinambu. Alan Chinambu, scorer of both goals, the Zambia number 10. That's a foul. Tinashe Chajiga earns the free kick. 12 fouls committed by Zambia, 5 for Zimbabwe. That is a lot. Double sub coming for Zambia now. So the stats showing they've been very physical, Laurel.
Yeah, the Zambians have been physical, but we cannot just put our laurels on the refereeing today. It has been quite magnificent throughout the tournament also. Just to check, the referees that have been involved, they are the same age as these players that are playing, which is quite instrumental for African football, as the referees are being molded into future stars again. That will be refereeing the same players that are in the field of play.
Yeah, the young referees program has been really good. Still on and still playing is Moses Maramudze, the number 9 for Zimbabwe, still trying his all. And a chance for Zambia maybe on the break here to make it 3, but that's skewed completely by Nyarenda. One of those 5 Zambia subs now on.
Yeah, you can see the way Nyarenda was warming up. He looks big. He looks forceful, and him failing to capitalize that chance, it might be a lack of precision, but he's one boy who's really shown that he has the ability to take on defenders and win balls.
That ball went out. Menashe Chifumbu couldn't keep it in. Just over 2 minutes of play remaining here in this placement match. Zimbabwe's girls team are playing next on this field against Tanzania. We'll have that one live for you as well here on CAF TV. There's Chinambu, the double scorer, still on, still with a chance of a hat-trick. And Emmanuel Mponga, that's a nice diagonal ball. Chilinda. It's quite a high cross. Nobody's going to be able to get ahead on that. Alan Chinambu scored in the 6th minute and the 27th minute. Zimbabwe without a meaningful opportunity, and those forwards, Bate Maramudze and Chifumbu, largely ineffective throughout the game. 18 there is Moses Zimbawe, one of the other Zambia subs. So pretty much the whole squad will go back to Zambia, having had some game time here at this finals. Maramudze, still they can't get a shot on target. Into the final minute here. And Zambia, you'd have to say, Laurel, certainly very much deserving of this 2-0 scoreline.
They have calm in the game. They utilized chances. They created chances, which is what you expect. Which is what you expect as a team, and it's quite good that they got the result that they needed. And for Zimbabwe, it tells a different story. Just a handful of chances created, but they failed to make those chances count. And we'll be looking at the drawing board again to say in the next upcoming games, how best can we calibrate our boys into being forceful strikers that can get the goals that are much needed in the game of football. So yeah, for Zambia, it has been a good game.
So that is the final whistle. Zambia end of the tournament with one win, with 2 draws and 1 defeat. Comprehensive 2-0 victors over Zimbabwe here. Zimbabwe go home with no wins, 2 draws and 2 defeats. We saw the ZIFA president is watching the game, and this has raised a lot of questions once again about Zimbabwe's youth development policy. A lot of conversations going on here in Zimbabwe as other nations have shown that they're much more organized, much ahead. So Zambia going out with a good scoreline. They've beaten Zimbabwe thanks to 2 goals from Alan Chinambu. They've beaten them by 2-0.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
Jersey number 7 was a problem, Coach Kevin, for Zimbabwe to deal with.
Chico, when you look at how the goal is created, it's created from a build-up, and I think the right winger, the intelligence he has, the number 7, to not play the cross first time, but hold it and turn and wait for the opening, because a lot of the Zimbabwean players are watching the ball, and the number 17 comes from the trees and he scores that goal by just a good tapping.
Not the only time the players were watching the ball. We've just seen them from a corner off the upright. Here's another in swinger, and this time couldn't find the back of the net. The keeper was almost on an island by himself, Rosemary.
It is very true, Chico. The entire, especially the first half, the Zimbabwean defenders were ball watching the entire 20 minutes. But in the second half, there was a little bit of coming into the game in terms of making sure that they're marking the player with the ball and even going forward. But a lot of ball watching. As you can see, the position that Zambia were leading with 58 and Zimbabwe with 2. The pass accurate as well tells you which team has more dominance, especially in the middle of the park. The target, as you can see, Zambia had 3 and Zimbabwe had 9. The attempts, Zambia had more attempts than Zimbabwe in terms of 4 versus 10 versus 4. Corner kicks, Zambia was leading in each and every department. It's showing on the statistics that Zambia had the upper hand the entire 40 minutes, and they couldn't maybe convert the chances that they had. You can't have 10 attempts and you only score 2 goals because of the composure which was lacking, but they did very well in this game.
Coach Rosemary, Kevin and I were talking about this during halftime, in which we got the experience with Olsen at the beginning and Tinashe during halftime. But with you and the coach, 2 coaches, let's have a quick chat on why we are not training perhaps our players to play away from competition, away from traffic and into spaces. Are you seeing that as well?
Yes, but when we are talking of the under 15, we are talking of development. The tactical part of it, it will be less of the tactical part of it. It's more of the technical ability that we are working with these kids to understand. And the tactical part of it, it will come later, maybe at under 17. But I'm happy that some of the teams, they are technical and tactical sound. And maybe they've got more time together as teams, and they've more time in terms of playing and training their kids. And you could see the difference between Zimbabwe and Zambia in terms of going forward, how to defend, and their structure as a team. It was very different from the Zimbabwean side. But we are saying to Zimbabwe, you did very well in terms of getting on board the last minute and making sure we hosted the CAF schools and championship, and we are saying to the boys and girls, you did well. There's more time to learn, and there's more time you will improve as a team, and we are hoping for the best in the next year.
Coach Kevin, I'd love to hear your thoughts on what she just said.
My thoughts are a little bit different, Chico, and it goes back to when you look at the statistics, Coach Rosemary, what they are, how they are, where they are, and how much possession. This is where I think we need to encourage the coaches to be able to dissect these statistics into development structures. For example, how often did the Zambian team lose the ball in the last third? And that's why I say, how often? And then take the statistics, look at it, and tell yourself, you are putting the ball into competition all the time. And sometimes, I told Rosemary this as well, in the first 2 games of Zambia and Zimbabwe, they played a long ball. They built up into the halfway line and then played a long ball. By playing the long ball, it becomes a 50-50 ball and it goes into competition. Hold the ball and look where you have competition. It's the same like you look at it, it says, oh, we had 70% possession. Where did you have 70% possession? In your half or in the opponent's half? And that is what I think coaches, analysts, the technical staff behind these players that we want to develop, we have to dissect those statistics as developers and not as senior people, if that makes sense. So this is what I'd like to see. Zimbabwe, yes, I think you played a good game now in the second half. Zambia, I think you played a good game overall, but I think there's a lot to improve and work harder, get together sooner. The different FAs have to make sure that this CAF tournament can only grow and make it that more competitive. And I'm saying competitive not for winning, but competitiveness to see the development for the future.
Absolutely. When it comes to the CAF Africa Schools Football Championships, that campaign, that run for both Zambia and Zimbabwe is over. So how about we take a quick thought on each team, one thing that you would expect these 2 teams individually, of course, to go and improve on from what you've seen. I'll start off with Zimbabwe for you, Coach Rosemary.
As for the Zimbabwean team, I think the players need to have more time together. and also the coaches to make sure that they work with their technical ability, they work with the tactical ability, they work with them with the 3 moments of football: when you have possession, when you are out of possession, when you are outnumbered. Especially if you looked at this game against Zambia, Zambia had 5 midfielders and Zimbabwe had 3 because of the different formations. And if you are outnumbered, then how do you correct and measure that, which was very simple by having the 3 defenders in the middle of the park to just drop back and join in the 3 midfielders to make sure that it's a 1 versus 1 situation in the middle of the park. But second half they changed the formation and it was much better. And now also to make sure that these players are comfortable in terms of retaining or maintaining the position, in terms of build-ups from the back. As you have seen, Zimbabwe first half they tried to build from the back, but it was very difficult for them to come out of that defending third, because Zambia were too quick in terms of closing down.
Vous invite à vous connecter sur ces différentes plateformes pour suivre des analyses inédites, des décryptages exceptionnels et des anecdotes alléchantes. Venez partager des moments avec nous tous les mercredis dans votre émission phare Rejouons le match. Vendredi, nous corrigeons les copies des uns et des autres dans l'émission Contre-attaque. Et dimanche, c'est la messe de l'actualité sportive avec l'heure de la team. Venez vivre ces moments en compagnie des spécialistes confirmés comme Magellan Miguel Mbok. Retrouvez également le talentueux Erika Marage avec les décryptages de Larissa Ikouni. Suivez également les analyses de Joseph Boom. Sans oublier l'expertise de William Ndmoubé, mais aussi Éric La République, ainsi que les interventions de James Lacroix et de l'incontournable Jacques Bilan. Pour finir en beauté avec Eyoum Certain. Avis aux différents annonceurs qui souhaitent accompagner le mouvement de la reconstruction du Cameroun et du sport camerounais. Une seule adresse, la Jewel Team officielle, dans les plateformes digitales. On répond au numéro WhatsApp plus 241 07 46 87 50. La Jewel Team, c'est la qualité, la passion et la vision au service du développement.
Worked on, but it's a learning curve and it's development, and this is exactly why coaches are employed to make sure that we train our kids for them to improve and to be better players going forward.
Coach Rosemary echoing the thoughts of Coach Kevin, of course, on the development of these two teams. Quick reminder of how we've played out so far. We've already seen DR Congo and Guinea play out to a goalless draw. It is Zimbabwe and Zambia who've given us that 2-goal thriller this morning, should I say, this afternoon. Correct myself. Tanzania and Zimbabwe, the girls are in action shortly. Now, there's a game we're looking forward to. It'll be live right here on GAF TV. DR Congo, a team that has surprised us, surprised Zimbabwe with victory, and somehow managed to hold their hand against Morocco, will be up against a Tanzania side that can play against the best of them, just haven't been able to get the results. All right. Thank you very much for the time spent here with you. Obviously, Coach Rosemary, Coach Gavin will still have quite a way to go, because unlike Zimbabwe and Zambia, the tournament for us is far from over, which means the tournament for you is equally far from over. One more game to go this afternoon before we take a rest and turn our attention to the big day, the semifinals. We'll see you in a bit.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome back to the Africa Schools Football Championships being held in Zimbabwe. Harare is the place. Gateway High School is the venue, and football is on the menu. My name is Chico. I've been with you throughout the tournament and intend to stay right here until the very end, where we expect to see a lot more football, including the game that's coming up next. It is focused on the girls. Host nation Zimbabwe taking on a rather tricky and unpredictable Tanzania side. I'm joined by one woman who is from the host nation, Coach Rosemary, alongside a fellow Southern African man, Coach Kevin. We can talk about, Coach Kevin, you definitely speak about this, teaching these young players how to come onto a game when you are required and the pressure is high, how to come off the game, even when you're flying high and playing well. It's all about development. Coach Rosemary, on your part, I'm thinking here's an opportunity for the girls to learn how to play professionally in a game that really might not count towards victory in the end.
Very true, Chico. We are talking of development, and this is the time where we want to see our players adapting to the technical skills that you have taught them. Are they learning? Is there any improvement? And also on the technical part of it, are they now knowing how to move out of their defense into the midfield and joining in the strike force and to move as a block, as a team? When we lose possession, how do you react to regain the possession? If you have the possession, how then do you apply yourselves in terms of keeping and retaining the possession? And it's all about seeing if they've learned something and are they applying what they've learned. And from there, then we can correct one another going forward to make them better players and the future players of tomorrow.
Future players of tomorrow, players of today. Tanzania up against host nation Zimbabwe. What do you remember, or what have you seen and learned from these two teams over the course of the tournament, Coach Kevin?
For what it's worth, Chico, I thought Zimbabwe came and they gave a good account of themselves for the first two games, even though this is their first time hosting the tournament. They're probably overexcited, but yes, they might not have had as much preparation as many other nations. But for me, both nations and coming into an international tournament at this level, it is an eye-opener for a lot of kids. You know, you on the pitch, they not speaking Shona as a Zimbabwean, they speak in French. So those little interactions on its own is development, I think, for young players. Yes, I'd like the coaches and the FAs to take whatever happened to both these teams back to their countries and understand that we need to prepare a lot longer, we need to prepare a lot better, but we need to take the stats from these games and analyze them in such a way that it goes down to development only. How do we play out from the back? How do we outnumber our opponents in defense? How do we outnumber our opponents in attack? And that is important for me. That's the important lessons that we want to see. And I come back again. Tanzania, their boys played well last year in the tournament. The girls did not do so bad in the tournament, but
an opportunity to wrap up this tournament with some decency, right?
Yes.
They are coming up next, having to face a very interesting Zimbabwe side that finished bottom of the groups in Group A of the girls' log standing. As you can see, their Zambia girls have been sensational and absolutely unstoppable, as has been Burkina Faso. Burkina Faso on 7 points, but it is a Tanzania side that nearly made it, but were not good enough to pip There's defending champions Ghana to second place, and so it's Burkina Faso and Ghana through. Tanzania will have to settle for a game this afternoon, which is why we have these fixtures to go. Goalless draw between DR Congo and Guinea. We told you those girls can surprise anyone. Boys, Zambia, Zimbabwe playing out to a 2-0 win for the Zambian side. Tanzania and Zimbabwe, while DRC and Congo boys against Tanzania will be in action. Some exciting football to come our way, and we'll be right back here at halftime to discuss what we see. But go nowhere, because the first half is coming up next. The girls here to entertain. The opportunity has presented itself. You and I sit back, feast, enjoy football.
Thank you, Chico. So both teams are very much wanting to go out with a victory here. The pulsating sounds of the CAF anthem as we get ready for kickoff in cloudy conditions right now, but lots of sun coming through. Here at Gateway High School, Tanzania against Zimbabwe in the 5th place playoff here at Gateway High School. It's going to be a very interesting one, this, and no doubt, as both teams have shown a capability of playing attacking football. The pitch is still looking good here. Day 3 of action. Yesterday was a busy day with 14 games. Today it's for the teams that didn't make it through to the semi-finals. The placement games for 5th up to 8th. And we're going to have the national anthems of the two teams.
Thank you, madam.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of Tanzania.
How are you? Oh, because the others are still going to complain.
And now the national anthem of Zimbabwe.
So a bit of support for the home nation here. It will be Zimbabwe's last game of these championships. So the girls taking on Tanzania in the 5th place placement matches. The boys having lost a few minutes ago 2-0 to Zambia. So can the girls salvage some pride here for the host nation? Tanzania got a win yesterday, 1-0 against Guinea. Guinea had missed a penalty in that game. But Tanzania deserving victors there. And Zimbabwe coming into this contest, having finished bottom of Group A. A 2-2 draw with Morocco was an excellent start, but then a costly 1-0 defeat to the DRC. And then losing 3-1 to Zambia. The goalkeeper's only 13. Rukia for Tanzania. She made some good saves. 17, Winnie Mapua. She is the talisman of this Zimbabwe side. For Tanzania, lots of youngsters. Most of these are 13 or 14. Rukia in goal. Noadia, number 10, played well yesterday out on the wing. Captain Elizabeth has been dropped to the bench today as the coach makes sure that everybody gets a run at these championships. So a few changes for Tanzania. Likewise for Zimbabwe as well. Bridget Tauro's on the bench today. Coming in, we got the likes of a Promise Katea. Beverly Matabini's been good for the young Mighty Warriors. Francisca Mube gets a start today. Ano Katea, the captain, very instrumental at the back. Change of keeper to Marian Mutezo comes in goal for Zimbabwe. Referees from the DRC, Therese Daddy, the assistants from Zambia, from Senegal, and from Ghana. A little bit of a breeze. Pleasant conditions for the players. This game kicks off 1:30 p.m. local time. So for Tanzania, can they get another win here? Zimbabwe, they've shown plenty of promise. Number 12 there for Zambia is Nkala with the dreadlocks. They played attacking football. Kevin Johnson with me, amongst distinguished former coach of Kaizer Chiefs, coaching setups of many others as well. They're looking to get a consolation here, Kevin, these teams.
Well, I do hope that Zimbabwe is able to come out of their blocks, because we've seen some good individual players in the Zimbabwean team, but the Tanzanians also, they had some good individuals, and hopefully the coaches have realized that this is a development team. Yes, we know that winning is sometimes the only thing that you look at, but there's ways that you can win, and there's ways that you can teach the young players how to play this game of football and enjoy yourself all the time. I'm looking forward to seeing I think it's the number 17 of Zimbabwe. She's a striker.
That's Winnie Mapua there. Yep, she's been hot. 2 goals in the tournament so far.
And then we also have, I'm not sure if it's the number 13, Steve. You know their names better.
Yeah, Beverly Matabini, she's good.
Of Zimbabwe, she's good. And then the tall, I think it's a midfielder or a defender from Tanzania that has nice ball control.
I think that's Elizabeth. She's on the bench today. She was captain yesterday, but I think she's made way so that others get a run.
Okay.
But we'll probably see her coming on later.
She has the ability to control the team nicely. So let's see.
Zimbabwe in the yellow colours kick us off, attacking the goal to your left. Tanzania in their famous home colours of the dark blue and black, attacking the goal to your right. It's a 5th placement match. That's Mawanja up front in the centre forward position for Tanzania. 4th game in 3 days for both. Will Zimbabwe let their heads drop, or will they try and go out with a bang here? Promise Tonganai, then the number 3, is playing in the number 9 position. Winnie Mapua, who was so good in qualifying, she's on the left side of attack. The coach lost her voice yesterday. She couldn't do a post-match interview because she was unable to speak. She was doing so much shouting, the Zimbabwe coach yesterday. Rukia getting her team in problems. They don't want to give the ball away to Winnie Mapua. Might get punished. Winnie scored from range yesterday against Zambia, who were comprehensive 3-1 winners in the final Group A game yesterday. Zambia and Ghana do look the favourites to take this girls' title. Composure there from Anotida Ginoira, but a bit of a risky back pass perhaps there, Kevin.
I like the risk they take, Steve, because it shows you that they want to build up from the back, and they're not interested at this point in the game to play the long ball.
So better to build up from the back. I know you don't like the long balls at all. It's better to stay in control. Francisca Nube is the number 12. She's in today. So I think for both of these teams, every player will have got a run. Tanzania came with an 18-player squad. Zimbabwe with a bigger one. So free kick given to the young mighty Warriors. Earlier on, the boys team losing 2-0 to Zambia. This morning was such a lot of fun with the Grassroots Festival. Under 9s were here and they were getting coached by legends of the game. Zimbabwe go long. And here's Malata, the left back for Tanzania. Nuadia was quite enterprising yesterday, the number 10 for Tanzania. You can keep an eye on her. She generated a couple of chances. Wasn't it fun, this Grassroots festival this morning, Kevin? Under 9s mixing with the likes of Spiwe Chabalala, Clementine Toure, the former Cote d'Ivoire coach, and other legends like Lamana Lualua.
Oh, what a spectacle CAF put up there with the Grassroots coaching. You had Amanda Dlamini as well there, and there were so many legends that were helping the little ones look up to them and do their little drills. Really, really well done to CAF.
I don't know if Amanda kept a clean sheet because I saw her in goal at one stage against some under 9s. With tiny little goals they had for that age group
I
as
did
well.
not have the privilege of watching that part. I had to come and work.
So then there was the Legends match as well, where they were in action too. So it's just such a wonderful initiative from CAF, this African Schools Football Championship. There's a Level D coaching course still on, which will finish tomorrow. Tomorrow's semi-finals day, and the finals are on in Norton at Ngoni Stadium, about an hour away. Touch there from Maka Zizipa. So both of these teams are debutants at the CAF African Schools Championship. Zimbabwe not qualifying, but coming through as hosts. So that's how they got the place, and that's how Zambia are also representing Kasafa Zizipa. You can see she's influential for Zimbabwe CAF in the number 9.
Yes, always. But again, I said this in the previous game as well, is let's teach our players to try and keep the ball away from competition. And when you look at just what happened now, Zimbabwe gets a free kick and they put the ball into competition. They put it in the area where there's 10 players.
Better to keep the possession.
Keep the possession, keep moving the ball, Steve. Wait until you have the opening to go inside.
Good ball that from Zizipa to Diwini Mapua, who's hacked down. Referee from Cote d'Ivoire is not going to allow that. And you know that she is the most dangerous player on the field for Zimbabwe. And taken out there by Malata, the Tanzania defender. Beatrice Justice Malata, another of the 13-year-olds. That's easily taken by keeper Rukia, who made some good saves yesterday in the game against Guinea that we covered for you. It's Diwini Mapua, the target. This could be promising for Zimbabwe. Diwini. Oh, turns it inside out. Winnie gets the crossover. Can they finish off here? Big opportunities for the young mighty Warriors, but no takers. Tonganai and Neshiri both had chances, but weren't able to get the shot in. You see how dangerous Diwini Mapua is. Her brother's Denzel Mapua. He plays in the Zim PSL and also for the junior national team. Cleared away by Ano Ginoira, the captain. What can they do here? Nuadia. Well, Zimbabwe playing with confidence here. Tonganai. It's Tonganai. Too slow. Oh, and dispossessed in the end by Hafsa. Probably should have done better there, but positive play we're seeing from Zimbabwe. Once again, Zizipa, Maka Zizipa running things from the midfield. Tonganai. Promise Tonganai, she will still go for the young mighty Warriors, and Rukia takes it well. Zimbabwe, certainly the better team at the moment, Kevin.
Yes, they put in a lot of pressure, and they should get the number 13 involved in the game a lot more, but give her support, and she's able to deliver for them. But again, Steve, I keep on saying, take the ball away out of competition.
13 is Beverly Matibini. Mawanja, the number 9 for Tanzania, and playing in the number 9 role. 7 minutes, no goals as yet. The other girls' game today went to penalties. DRC Guinea was 0-0, and DRC won 7-6 on penalties in their placement match. And Malata's getting quite a bit of the ball, the number 2 for Tanzania, scrapping for it with Beverly Matibini, who's been a regular starter in the tournament for the young mighty Warriors. What can they do from the set piece? It's Noadia. Goalward. Oh, it's gone in. The keeper has fluffed it. Marian Mutezo should have stopped that. But it's worth testing the keeper at this level. And it's Malata. And Tanzania. Noadia Maswa is the goal scorer. She took her chance.
We had a similar goal yesterday from the Moroccans.
Yeah.
They also took a free kick, and the goalkeeper, because of her height, she didn't, instead of taking 2 steps backwards, she took 1 step forward, and they put it over it.
Well, you do see this a lot at this age group, especially with the girls. It's Tanzania 1, Zimbabwe 0. Noadia with the goal 8 minutes in. Noadia Maswa. Against the run of play. A little bit of a slight drizzle at the moment. Bit of a funny day for weather here. Started off very chilly, sun came out, and now a bit of drizzle. Before the weather patterns changed, April there'd be bright sunshine wall to wall throughout the whole month, but it's not like that anymore these days as weather patterns have changed. But April used to be the most beautiful weather in Zimbabwe. Bit of a funny day today, Kevin.
What do they call it, Steve? Climate change.
Yeah, climate change.
We as human beings are not respecting this beautiful earth that we live on.
We've really seen it here in Zimbabwe. The rainy season is just on its way out now. Normally finishes in March. Tanzania with that goal from the free kick. Noadia. With a squad of 18, all of them getting a chance to play, which is really good to see. Here's Mawanja, the number 9. But yeah, the rain is coming down a bit more heavily now. This is probably the last week of the rainy season. This could even be the last day of it. It was forecast that there could be some precipitation today. We've had an amazing rainy season here in Zimbabwe, the best in many, many years. Tanzania lead 1-0 over Zimbabwe. Noadia, 8th minute, injured player. The other legends who are here, there's 10 of them, and they were at this grassroots festival this morning. Karim Hagi from Tunisia, that's a big name. Chimunya Mwitwa from Zambia, Spiwe Chabalala from South Africa, Lamana Tresor Lualua from the DRC, Ezra Mnyandoro from Zimbabwe. Let's just see that again. Yeah, came down pretty hard there, did Captain Anotira Jinoira. Ruda Neshamba former national team women's player from Zimbabwe, Clementine Toure, Cote d'Ivoire coach, Sophia Mwasikili, Tanzania goalkeeper, Amanda Flamini, who's also with us on the commentary team, Lamia Boumedi, CAF Women's Coach of the Year from Morocco. It's just an incredible array of stars here, Kevin, eh?
Yes, we're blessed to have so many legends walk the field and show the younger ones where they come from, who they are, and hopefully whoever they were at the grassroots is able to keep the picture in their head.
Yeah.
Until they become famous.
Oh, yeah. And say that I worked with a legend one morning in 2026 in Zimbabwe. Yeah. So with the pitch with a little bit of moisture on it now. Tonganai, can she win that tussle? No, it's a foul, says our referee from the DRC. We played 12 minutes here in this placement match. Tanzania lead. The goal from the free kick from Nuadia, which the goalkeeper misjudged, and it went over her head and over her fingertips as well. Here comes Nima, this right back, Malata. I like her. She's been overlapping well when she can.
I think, Steve, in all respect, I think they should keep the ball a little bit better. Zimbabwe now seems to be chasing the game, and they're chasing the game at the wrong moments. Allow the Tanzanians to hold the ball a little bit and then close them down properly, so that you can have numbers around the ball when you win it.
Sure, I think they felt under some pressure, I think, to go out with a win, did Zimbabwe. But finding themselves behind. They were behind against Morocco, and they came out with a really good 2-2 draw on the opening day on Monday. So they have shown character. That's the captain, Anotida Ginoira. Zimbabwe finished bottom of Group A despite that draw with Morocco. There's Diwini Mapua. She's going to try her luck.
No,
full of confidence.
Full of confidence.
She knows she's good. Only 13 is a Diwini Mapua.
She showed this striking ability and the attacking ability that she has since the beginning of the tournament, Steve.
Because her brother's a footballer, she's one of many girls who've played with boys as their introduction to the game. Captain again is very important for Zimbabwe. That's well won, though. Carla won the ball there and got it off of Ginoira.
I sometimes find that young players, just the identity of where they are on the pitch and what they should do on the pitch, we need to, as developers, teach them that.
Yeah.
If you understand what I'm saying. What you do, where you are, how you do it. Someone, number 12 is down, Scott Payne.
It's Nkala who's gone down in an off-the-ball incident. Yeah, identity, very important.
You see what I'm trying to tell the developers? Because when you just look at the action 4 seconds ago, the player comes running and the line is there, the outball line, and that line is like, for me, I have to teach my players that that's a defender.
Yeah.
In all respect, that's a defender. If you kick the ball out there, it's no more your ball. The defender has won the ball. So teach them, the closer they are to the line, the more they have to keep the ball under control and maybe stop the ball and go somewhere else because there's a defender in front of you.
So these are important lessons. Kevin Johnson, who's seen it all, so many decades of coaching experience in South Africa and beyond. It looks as though this might be a substitution. They want the stretcher anyway. Meanwhile, Zimbabwe have changed goalkeeper. So Marian Mutezo replaced by Lillian Zonde. Lillian was the starter in the other games, and Mutezo is guilty for the first goal, or for the only goal of the game thus far, as the free kick went over her head. And there will be a substitution for Tanzania. She's not going to be coming back. And Carla's off.
Number 11. Number 11. So number 10's out and number 11's in.
So Zipporah Sauli, there's Diweni Mapua. That skews completely off. So Noadia, the scorer, off, and coming on is Sauli.
Was the number 10 the scorer? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Noadia got the goal for Tanzania. Looked like quite a bad injury. So we got just over 3 minutes to go to half time here at Gateway High School. So Zipporah Sauli on. In fact, it's Nkala is the one who's gone off. So the scorer is still on, Noadia. Still a little bit of rain. Nima in midfield for Tanzania. And their young keeper, Rukia. We got also in progress DRC boys against Tanzania. We'll update you on that. So neither of the Tanzania sides, neither of the Zimbabwe sides getting through to the semi-finals. The biggest surprise there is the Tanzania boys, who are the double defending champions. And the way there is Katina. Whoa, and the reserve keeper makes a really good save there from Katina. Hoofed away by Zizipa. At the moment, Zimbabwe finding it a little bit difficult, though, to construct forward moves. Just 2 minutes to go to the break here at Gateway High School. Tomorrow's semi-finals day starting from 10. If you are in Harare or around, it's free admission, but you must get yourself a free ticket from Total Energies at Emerald Hill service station, just down the road from where we are at Gateway High School.
Another change.
Another change coming. So offer for Zimbabwe. Now this is Lakevia. She's really good. Lakevia Jaravani. She scored in the first game. But she was on the bench today to give others a chance, but now called upon as Zimbabwe try to salvage the situation. Minute to go to half-time. Diweni Mapua has played okay for the young Mighty Warriors. We'll see what Lakevia can do. Now that's well won. That's Sauli, the sub. They could make it 2 here. Yes, it's smacked in there. Mawanja has made it 2-0 at the end of the first half. Tanzania go 2 up. Mawanja, the center striker, does what she's supposed to do. Hafsa Nkamba Mawanja with the goal for Tanzania. Well, it slipped past the Zimbabwe player there. She finished it really well, Kevin.
I think when you look at it again, the build-up, they're taking the ball away from the competition, playing it into somewhere where there's no competition, goes through Steve, and they score. Nice goal.
It was a beauty. Half-time it is then. So Tanzania looking good here with a 2-goal advantage. Noadia in the 8th minute. Mwaja right at the end of the first half. We go to the break here. Tanzania 2, Zimbabwe 0.
Are we going? Am I going there?
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs trained and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
Another game, another half, another opportunity for us to see just how dominant this Tanzania side can be. It is a southern and eastern affair when it comes to the mother continent, and it looks like Eastern Africa, who are hosting the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027, have the upper hand. Complete dominance, perhaps, as Tanzania lead this half 2-0. Look at this. Opportunities were not lacking for the Zimbabwe side. Obviously, this young lady, Winnie, winger, number 17 is the jersey number, creating opportunities. The support cast is what has been lacking slightly, Coach Rosemary.
Very true, Chico. As you can see, that Winnie has been one of the influential players in the Zimbabwean squad, and she has done well in terms of creating those chances, but there are no people are failing to take them on. As you can see that the goal that Zimbabwe conceded, it's one of a lobby shot that was taken from the number 10, and the Zimbabwean keeper was placed just inside, and she couldn't even see the flight of the ball. It's unfortunate for her at this tender edge. As you know that goalkeeping is a specialized area which needs a goalkeeper's coach, and I've seen that 3/4 of the teams here at the CAF schools did not bring their goalkeepers coaches, which is an area that we overlook as coaches, but it's a very special area that need a specific person to deal with these kids at this tender age.
Very interestingly enough, Coach, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. The 2 goals, the second one was decent. The first one, questionable. Possession belonging to Tanzania. The attempts rather equal, but finding the target is a different story. 3 times as much target practice for Tanzania in terms of hitting it. Total passes, you can see Tanzania are allowed to have the ball and they're not wasting the chances, building towards something. The rest of the stats tell you exactly what the top stat right there says. Tanzania have been the better side.
It has been a better side from the onset. They've settled early, and as a team, they are exchanging their passes and building up from the back, as well as going forward. They are very much composed. It's a team that is communicating to one another in terms of organization when and without the football, and we have seen that they've taken their chances very well. And in terms of Zimbabwe, they're failing to take their chances very well, which they need to work on, especially the second half. It's unfortunate one of the Zimbabwean strikers, the number 20, Jaravaza, she's not available today, maybe because of the injury that I saw her carrying.
Vous invite à vous connecter sur ces différentes plateformes pour suivre des analyses inédites, des décryptages exceptionnels et des anecdotes alléchantes. Venez partager des moments avec nous tous les mercredis dans votre émission phare Rejouons le match. Vendredi, nous corrigeons les copies des uns et des autres dans l'émission Contre-attaque. Et dimanche, c'est la messe de l'actualité sportive avec l'heure de la team. Venez vivre ces moments en compagnie des spécialistes confirmés comme Magellan Miguel Mbok. Retrouvez également le talentueux Erika Marage avec les décryptages de Larissa Ikouni. Suivez également les analyses de Joseph Boom, sans oublier l'expertise de William Ndmoube, mais aussi Éric La République, ainsi que les interventions de James Lacroix et de l'incontournable Jacques Bilon. Pour finir en beauté avec Eyoum Certain. Avis aux différents annonceurs qui souhaitent accompagner le mouvement de la reconstruction du Cameroun et du sport camerounais. Une seule adresse, la Jewel Team officielle, dans les plateformes digitales. On répond au numéro WhatsApp plus 241 07 46 87 50. La Jewel Team, c'est la qualité, la passion et la vision au service du développement.
In a moment, the first goal, it's not new. We've seen something similar, haven't we? DRC, Morocco, these lofty balls, the keepers are struggling. And when you look at some coaches, some keepers, it's not about the height. Nigeria has provided a short keeper. She's been sensational. Swaft, is it? From South Africa, another great keeper. It's not about the height. What's the problem here?
I think the problem that we are having as all the nations, as I said earlier on, that if you look at all the countries here, they don't have a goalkeepers coach, especially for women. And this is a special area that needs somebody who's special in goalkeeping. We can blame these young ladies in goals, but they need to be taught how to deal with certain aerial balls and how to attack at the highest point, which is we have seen that that has been lacking. And we hope all the nations, when they go back to their countries, they make sure that coming to a tournament, you need to have a goalkeepers coach who should be teaching your girls the handling, even the starting of the play. Nowadays, we expect our keepers to start the play from the back. And in terms of aerial balls, it has been a very big issue, and we hope our next tournament will have a full-fledged technical team in every area of the game.
Absolutely, I love that. It's important that we invest in goalkeeping coaches as well. Swaft, Nandize from Nigeria. I hope I said Shamak. I hope I said her name right. Short keepers, brilliant keepers, and they tell a totally different story in how safe they are in between the posts. How safe is the future of journalism in your hands and your colleagues?
I think the future of journalism is in safe hands. You know, we are still learning and improving. And thanks to CAF, we are able to actually learn and be here with the greats like you, you know, Chico, you know, always hear you from TV. And now I'm here standing next to you, you know, learning a few things. I was just there and you're giving us some pointers just overall, you know, about the game, you know. So the future of journalism is in safe hands, I believe. Yeah.
One lesson you've taken that you didn't know that CAF has empowered you with going into the future?
You have to believe in yourself, and they said protect the dream. I was listening to Sarah speaking. She said protect the dream, and this is my dream, and I'll protect it. And CAF has given me an opportunity to actually realize my dream, and by doing this, I'm actually protecting my dream. So when I go after this, I'm going to protect my dream. I'll continue doing what I'm doing right now, and hopefully, I'll become big.
Absolutely. Well, you could hear the whistle from the center referee calling the players onto the pitch. And this is the final half. We will be seeing a Zimbabwean side playing. The boys less impressive for you than the girls?
Very true, Chico. The girls have tried as quickly as possible to settle down, and they were pound for pound before they considered that goal. And they continued the fighting spirit that we want them to see. We have seen that they have that fighting spirit, and they are more structured than the boys in the middle of the park. They are moving as a block in terms of going forward and defending as a team. And it's a plus to these young ladies and their coach, Irene Mwanza.
On your screen is the Tanzania side that has silenced the home crowd, I should say, with two fantastic first half goals. And it is up to the girls in gold, the girls in yellow, to bring them back to life. That can only be done in the course of the final 20 minutes of football from Zimbabwe girls at the CAF Africa School Football Championships right here in Harare, which is now coming live.
Thank you, Chico and Rose and Tinashe. Well, touching, warm words there of thanks to CAF for the Young Reporters Programme, which is an amazing part of this tournament, which is so much more than about winning the trophy. So, Zimbabwe in the yellow, in a bit of trouble here. 2 down to Tanzania. That first goal, fortuitous perhaps. The keeper should have stopped the free kick, and the second one there coming from Mwanja at the end of the first half. Really well taken that was. Tanzania in their dark blue and black in a decent position at the moment. So we have made a change in the commentary box as well. Out goes our legend Kevin Johnson. And another from the Young Reporters Programme, Sandra Magahanye, is in. It's an interesting change. We brought in a youngster here. Hey, but Zimbabwe in some trouble here, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed, they are in a lot of trouble. It could have been a different story for Zimbabwe had they gone into the halftime break with 1-0 defeat. But now it's now 2. The situation is now requiring a bit more than what they've been able to deliver maybe in previous games. You look at that comeback that they had against Morocco. They managed to draw in that encounter. But this time around, 2 goals down. How are they going to recover? That is the big question. I'm pretty sure the coach might have said a word or two to make sure that they are ready for the second half.
Yep, they'll need to do something pretty quickly. 20 minutes each way it is at the CAF African Schools Football Championship. It's day 3 of action. The sun is out now after that downpour in the first half. Winnie Mapua, watch out for her over on the left flank. The number 17. 13 is Beverly Matibini, who's been an influence. Also Lakevia, who's number 18, came on as a sub. But Tanzania with a chance for a third. Can they finish this off? Oh, against the crossbar. Struck against the crossbar. Sauli, the substitute. That was an easy chance. Puts her head in her hands there, knowing that she should have finished off there and made it 3-0. Managed to ride that challenge, and it was a great cross. Keeper might have got fingertips to it there.
Yeah, indeed, nervy moments there for the young mighty Warriors, but all they can do is just regroup as quickly as they can. But you look at the amount of attempts that they have had on goal. Tanzania 4, the superior number is to 3, as well as on target Tanzania have 3, and managing to get 2 goals from that. It shows their ability, the clinicality in their approach.
That's a probing one, but off target. Remember, the opening goal for Tanzania was a free kick from long range, and the goalkeeper could not stop it. It went over her head, but she should have stopped it. So Tanzania continuing to attack 3 minutes into the second half here. So the Young Reporters program on. Sandra is part of it. This morning, the Grassroots Festival with under 9s and loads of legends. Who did you get pictures with, Sandra, this morning?
Yeah, not really got pictures, but then we managed to get an interview with...
you're reporting, so you want interviews, not selfies.
Yeah, I did. Right. We're working here with Zimbawe Shabalala. So it was a great honor, and also talking to Sarah, CAF director, quite an impressive opportunity to just be able to talk to her, get to understand the idea behind the Grassroots Festival and the CAF African Schools Championship itself. It takes a lot to actually work on these programs, but we are grateful because we are benefiting from it.
Yeah, certainly are. I was very happy to meet Trésor Loa, the DRC legend, and he's so happy that they qualified for the World Cup for the first time in 52 years. Through that playoff win against Jamaica. 2-0 here. Down is Beverly Matibini. He's been grafting away in midfield. Tanzania committing 4 fouls to Zimbabwe's 6. 4th game in 3 days. Yeah, bundled over there. It's been quite testing. Those teams into the semi-finals get a rest day today. For those who are bowing out today in the placement games, it's a 4th match in 3 days. Zimbabwe need to do something fairly quickly. And they will test keeper on. It is dropped as well by young Rukia. Kind of along the same lines as the opening goal for Tanzania, a long-range free kick, and it tested the keeper, and she made an error, but it gets away with it there, does Rukia. Tanzania still look good when they are coming forward. No takers there. Reserve keeper, remember, is Lilian Zonde, after Marion Mutezo made that mistake early on. And it's like the more that Tanzania attack, the harder it is for the young mighty Warriors to get themselves a goal. Mkamba. That's cleared away by Mapurani. They'll try a long shot, but it goes past. Tanzania looking in a comfortable position, Sandra, at the moment.
Yeah, indeed, they are in the driving seat, and it makes a lot of sense. I think they're just carrying over the energy and the momentum that they brought on in the first half. And just, when they say that you can't really change a system that is working, that is Tanzania at this very moment. I think the coach quite confident with the goals that started in the first half and allowing them to continue play in the second half.
So Notida Junior, number 2, is the captain. Looks like Zimbabwe are making a change. Tisha Matenga for Praise Neshiri. Tisha has not, this is her first minutes of the tournament. I've watched all of the Zimbabwe girls' games. This is her first action. So Tisha comes on. Can she make a change for Zimbabwe? Only 14 minutes remain here. We're expecting CAF President Patrice Motsepe on finals day, making his way from Senegal, where he is today. Cannons out for a corner. Zizipa is another influential player for Zimbabwe. Still cheering on the girls. But it's been difficult for Zimbabwe's boys and Zimbabwe's girls as well. Winnie Mapua is going to take this. Really entertaining player to watch. It's a long way out. She goes for goal, but totally overcooks that one, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed. But the idea was good. Just the technique there that was lurking. It could have taken the curl a little bit earlier, because you realize that some of those goals are a little bit small. The moment that you put it top right corner, top left corner, you might get a goal. That is always the idea. So the idea was there, but just the execution. But also as a player, she's absolutely good. Stellar performance, even from the previous games that she's been part of this young Mighty Warriors jersey.
You'd have no doubt she'll one day make it into the senior national team if she keeps working. Nice exchange of passes from Zimbabwe. Lakevia came on as a sub, but hasn't done very much yet. They'll come away with confidence. Sauli. It's put out by Mapurani. The captain, Anotida Jinoira. She's played every minute of every game. So too has Winnie Mapua. They've got to do something special in these closing 12 minutes here. So as well as the young reporters workshop, young referees, safeguarding is on today. I think that's a really important area of youth football, safeguarding trust, making sure that young players are kept safe from abuse and in various forms. There's also data analytics. There's been medics, young doctors. A lot of things happening around the CAF African Schools Football Championship. That's not a bad touch. Neshiri. Can Zimbabwe generate something here? It's Neshiri. She's kept it in. Praise Neshiri. It touched her hand. It's a penalty. It's a penalty to the young Mighty Warriors. It's a lifeline, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed. Could be a lifeline. She was probing. She knew what she wanted. And somehow, she was able to get that penalty. But no, it's a chance for Zimbabwe. You are asking the last 12 minutes, can they do something? Pull a rabbit out of the hat. Here's the replay of what actually happened. Neshiri, they're probing 2 minutes, just trying to get something there. And that's the storyline. It's a penalty. Zimbabwe could be back in the game.
Yep. You know what you want as a striker, to get it touching the hand. Who else but Winnie Mapua to take this for the young Mighty Warriors? It's Winnie Mapua. It's 2-1. Zimbabwe are back in it. She places it well. That's her third goal. Second goal of the tournament for Winnie Mapua. showing why she is Zimbabwe's taliswoman. At last, something for the Zimbabwe fans to cheer about. Doesn't go for pace, but deceives the goalkeeper really beautifully.
Yeah, it's all about placement, knowing exactly where the goalkeeper was positioned, how far possibly she could have jumped to reach out for the ball. Just measure that distance properly, and you could be able to find the back of the net. So that was Winnie Mapua there, getting the second goal of the tournament. Quite good, I think, and that's the lifeline for the young Mighty Warriors.
It's game on here in Harare. If it ends 2-2, it will go to a penalty shootout. But Tanzania continue to construct attacks of their own. The crowd has livened up a bit thanks to that goal from Winnie Mapua. Hafsa heads it forward. Zimbabwe obviously need to get it up the other end as much as they possibly can. Noadia. Lakevia, the number 18, still hasn't had much of an impact as yet, but she got a great goal in the first game against Morocco. There's Winnie Mapua, the scorer. And she was so good in qualifying, was Winnie. Denzel Mapua, her brother, playing in the PSL and for the under-17 national team. So she's grown up learning a lot about football. Zimbabwe pump it forward. Tisha, the number 10, the other sub, playing out on the left side of attack. Promise Tonganai still up there as well. Cleared by Hafsa. 8 minutes to go. Tanzania work it forward well. Eva. Target there was Mapau. Going to test the goalkeeper once again. Oh, that was close. Good idea. Just denied.
Yeah, that was really, really close coming in there from Tanzania. But you look at the clearing coming in from the young Mighty Warriors. That's exactly where it is disappointing as the replay is so close yet so far. That is the situation. But the young Mighty Warriors really need to be clear, quick decision making to clear their lines, to make sure that they give a little bit of leverage to the goalkeeper. She mustn't be tested that much if you want her to remain confident in the encounter. So they're really exposing their goalkeeper a little bit too much by allowing them, Tanzanians, to play in their half.
Tanzania still edging the goal attempts and the shots on target. Winnie Mapua is going to dispatch this. Her penalty coming in the 31st minute. Substitution coming up for the young Mighty Warriors. Also in progress, DRC boys against Tanzania boys. So Winnie having to do all of the work. Tonganai, can they get onto it here? Lakevia with a touch. The Tanzania putting plenty of players in defense when they need to. Maka Zizipa. Lakevia, whistle's gone though. Six minutes to go. Zimbabwe, if they score, they'll take it to penalties if it were to finish 2-2. But still, we're seeing Tanzania attacking. It's Sauli with a cross. What a big opportunity here to seal it. Great save. Lillian Zonde has kept the young Mighty Warriors alive.
Yeah, good goalkeeping there coming in from the goalkeeper, staying close to the near post. And just slowing down at that momentum coming in from Tanzania. Good goalkeeping there from Lillian.
5 minutes to go. Tanzania still doing plenty of running here. They're not sitting back. Looks like they prefer to get a third than to just try and hang on to this one goal lead. a game where they're playing for pride in these placement games. That's Angel Messina. So Hafsa is off. So Saidi coming on for Tanzania, the substitute. Zimbabwe push up. Time running out. 4 minutes to go. Not much distance on that throw. Can Zimbabwe take this to penalties? That'll be quite a way to end their campaign here at the CAF African Schools Football Championship. Ever clears. And winning that challenge there is a Hafsa for Tanzania. Throw into Zimbabwe. Time is certainly not on their side. Ginoyere just puts that out to praise Mahlanga. Still, they'll try to come forward in search of a third. That's Eva. Dewini Mapua is on the left side there. Praise Nishiri still is up there as well for the young Mighty Warriors, but Tanzania continue to pressurize. Taken well by Lilian Zonde. She's got to dispatch as fast as she can. Neshiri, but she plays it back. Every second counts at this stage now.
Yeah, indeed, every second trickling away, but the young Mighty Warriors really need to move fast. Tanzania have, for some reason, all the time in the world because they are leading by just a single goal to nil. And for Zimbabwe, it has been really hard for them to get close to Tanzania's goal and find something except for that penalty that was converted. But here it could be a different story.
There's Mwanja just over. Yeah, on the balance of play, Tanzania the better side. That's now 11 goal attempts to Zimbabwe's 6. They were in a very difficult group with Ghana. It was difficult to get out of, and Burkina Faso, who've been the surprise package in this girls' tournament. But here come the young Mighty Warriors. Can Lakevia do something here? Tonganai. Zizipa there. Once again, this dangerous player who's done so well, Noadia. Semi-finals day tomorrow, day 4. No, that's a given away. Neshiri, Dewini Mapua. Just over a minute, though, to play. Tanzania continue to use the philosophy that attacking is the best form of defense. Noadia gets past 2 players. It's still Noadia. The lay-on not ideal, but here's a Sauli. And keeper's been solid, Lilian Zonde. I guess when they reflect, Zimbabwe would say they should have started with Zonde instead of giving a run to Marian Mutezo. She won't be able to get there. Frustrating now. Neshiri in the final minute. The whistle's gone. Anything Zimbabwe can do here now, Sandra?
Yeah, that's a lot to ask, especially for these young girls under 15. But all they can do, they need to understand this is the type of maybe career that they have chosen. And there's the coach looking from the sidelines, trying to just think what the girls can do. But all they can do in this moment is what they have done in the training sessions. And not many of them looking at how compact maybe the games have been coming so far.
Dewini Mapua with the ball over. These are the closing seconds of the game. Yeah, Coach Irene Mwanza shouted so much yesterday that she lost her voice and couldn't do any post-match interviews. The 40 minutes are up. Whistle could go any time. We're still playing. That was not the final whistle. But that is, Tanzania have beaten Zimbabwe by 2 goals to 1. Noadia with an early goal from a free kick 8 minutes in, which went over the head of the keeper Marion Mutezo, who should have done better. Then Mawanja on 20, great finish. Winnie Mapua on 31 with a penalty, gave Zimbabwe some hope, but they weren't able to get the equaliser, Sandra.
Yeah, indeed, it's quite difficult, but a good show coming in from Tanzania in this one, getting those 2 goals. It's all about your last game. Make it important, make it special. So Tanzania, they've done the hard work. The Mighty Warriors just have to get back to the drawing board, see what they can do better in the upcoming competition. But what a story it could have been, the home team, the host nation, getting a win in this encounter. It could have been a beautiful celebration, but hey, Tanzania have done the work.
Yep, tears for Zimbabwe. It ends here. Tanzania 2, Zimbabwe 1.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These stories flow between continents, leading a new generation of talent and opportunity. Africa and Europe, together we rise.
Well, welcome back. Now that the games for the day are over, it is Tanzania who walk away with all smiles, courtesy of that 2-1 win. As some of the highlights are right there on your screen. Ooh, off the crossbar. Tanzania did have their intentions. They did have their opportunities. Great build-up throughout the game.
Yes, definitely great build-up throughout the game. The Tanzanian ladies showed some good positional making, and also, yes, they showed some great tactical positioning. But Zim, the penalty, yes, that was a great penalty there from Winnie. Tough luck for the ladies. It's good for the game.
But this penalty there with Winnie, with her opportunity, she's been a sensational player for Zimbabwe, and it was really good for the fans as they screamed out, shouting, celebrating her per se. They did realize that the lofty balls are causing a problem, so they attempted here and there, but it was just a consistent penetration from Tanzania in that Zimbabwe defense.
I think the Zimbabwe defense was sleeping too much at the back, and Tanzania were trying to hit them with long balls that would cause panic to the goalkeepers. If we were to look at the tournament so far, most of the things that have been happening, most of the goals that have been scored, they have been scored outside the box, and they have created pressure to the goalkeepers who are a bit short. And if we can look at the statistics there, Tanzania had most of the attempts, 12 attempts, and Zimbabwe had 6 only, and they're the majority of the possession with 61%, while Zimbabwe had 39, which actually tells the story of the game, Chico. They managed to get Zimbabwe on their back, and they proved why they were the winners of this game.
Absolutely. Total attempts, look at that, twice as much for Tanzania than it was for Zimbabwe. Shots on target, equally twice as good for Tanzania. And at the scoreline, well, that tells you twice as better.
Yeah, it definitely tells the story that the better team was Tanzania. Zimbabwe are hoping for the 6th place for the development team is a start, and I hope for the best for the team.
So you've heard of Tinashe. We heard from Tinashe. We heard from Laurel, 2 Tinashes and 1 Laurel. Let's these 2 gentlemen introduce themselves, because they are part of the capacity building program that CAF has been holding throughout the Africa School Football Championships from this inception to the very 4th edition, which we are experiencing right now. Introduce yourself, gentlemen.
So I'm Prince Korondo. I'm part of the Young Reporters program here for the CAF Champions Schools. I'm proud to be here, learned a lot, and definitely on TV finally. Yeah.
Repeat your name, Prince?
Yeah, it's Prince.
Prince,
yeah.
Prince, some royalty in his blood, 100%.
Yeah. My name is Laurel Mura, and what I can say is this program has been epic. We've met so many individuals who you might aspire to be like, and this program, I think it has been fantastic. It has been great. It has been captivating for us, motivating for us to go high and be top people in the industry again once we get those opportunities.
All right, so some of the lessons. Walk us through some of the training that you received and how that's empowering you guys.
So I've trained, learned how to write articles, how to report, how to handle the interviewees, like asking questions that they understand and avoiding making them feel like you're making to caging them when asking questions. And also, basically trying to make a story which has a meaning and which is human interest for the people, and try to give what the people want to hear and more info behind the pitch and behind the scenes. Yeah.
All right, how about this? I will come to you boys and you tell me the story you would write considering what Zimbabwe, both boys and girls, have done in this tournament. But for us, our focus has got to be on the results of the day. The DRC and Tanzania are currently ongoing. That game I can see on pitch number 3. But for the 3 games which have already been completed, Tanzania and Zimbabwe playing out in a 3-goal thriller. Advantage Tanzania, advantage Zambia, and was goalless between DRC girls and the Guinea. Now what we can expect for tomorrow is the semi-finals. Thursday is where all the attention is. Girls, Burkina Faso and Morocco. We also have some Zambia and Ghana. Do not ignore that bottom fixture. Morocco and Senegal, the boys. I don't need to tell you all the story behind that, but these boys will know that they have a lot to play for, but yet a lot to learn. All right. So I always find it interesting and funny to look at some of the stories. Senegal, Morocco, semi-final clash. That should be entertaining.
Yeah, it's sort of like a miniature of the AFCON final last time.
I like that you called it on.
Yeah. So basically, it's going to be a high intense match. Some goals probably. And may the best team win. I hope so.
Absolutely. Who do you think has really impressed the two of you going into the semifinals? You know the matchups. Let's think about the girls. Who comes across as a favorite, or rather, who do you hope wins? I'll start off with you, Laurel.
For me, I think Morocco have done quite a good job. They have come in. They've showed in that they have the best facilities. They can break anyone, and from the group stages you can see their games. They got their game against Zimbabwe. You could see it was a 2-2 draw, but you could see the intensity, the hunger that they were in for it. That they deserve to be in the semi-final.
All right. Before we do go, they are the reporters, are they not? Zimbabwe, both teams out, not in the semi-final, while being the hosts. What is your headline going to read?
For me, the headline will be basically the worst out, but a lesson learned.
I love that one.
Yeah.
What about you, Laurel? Prince has it. Some royalty in his blood there.
It definitely caught me off guard. Yeah, I wasn't expecting you to ask something like that. But I think the headline would be both teams crash out. It won't be so interesting because it's an emotional thing for us Zimbabweans. It's always said that to be always evicted in the first round is not so good. It doesn't paint a good picture about our developmental side. So yeah, I think maybe an angle that is focusing on us developing more our young talents. Otherwise, hey.
Okay, so here's a quick lesson to you from someone who's done this for a while. First and foremost, I'm glad that he did not at all shy away from saying, listen, I'm not ready, because when you're writing these things, you have to take your time. All right, gentlemen. So Laurel, good on you to be able to say, hey, I'm still learning. And that is a power that you should never let go of. All right. And then you try to explain the story and you told us, and we loved that. But I am very proud of how you approached that surprise. Plus, you made us laugh, and it's supposed to be very natural. As for you, Prince, I did love that, quick on your feet. There's always two types of storytellers, those who are quick on their feet and those who prepare. And when they give you what they've prepared, they'll blow your mind. Either way, you will be telling the African story the African way. Thank you very much to the Prince. Thank you very much to Laurel. Thank you very much to CAF and the entire capacity building program that circumvents everything you can think of when it comes to building up grassroots football. From the reporters to the medics to the coaches, you name them, they've got it. Plus, they're protecting the dream, safeguarding, taking care of our young as they grow up in this very tricky fraternity industry and sport. Listen, it's been great. And now we turn our attentions, as we say goodbye to Gateway, we turn our attentions to Thursday, the final day, where we will be seeing all these teams in action, hoping to make it to the final, which will be played on Friday. But as Prince said, for Zimbabwe, it is one headline and one headline only. The hosts are out, but lessons have been learned. Good job.
These jerseys aren't 100% polyester. They are 30% lessons learned the hard way, 50% hope, turning threads into memories, 20% triumphs dreamed and prayed for. This is Africa, 100% made of us.
Rooted in culture, driven by connection. These
connectés sur ces différentes plateformes pour suivre des analyses inédites, des décryptages exceptionnels et des anecdotes alléchantes. Venez partager des moments avec nous tous les mercredis dans votre émission phare Rejouons le match. Vendredi, nous corrigeons les copies des uns et des autres dans l'émission Contre-attaque. Et dimanche, c'est la messe de l'actualité sportive avec l'heure de la team. Venez vivre ces moments en compagnie des spécialistes confirmés comme Magellan Miguel Mbok. Retrouvez également le talentueux Eric Amarage avec les décryptages de Larissa Ikouni. Suivez également les analyses de Joseph Boom. Sans oublier l'expertise de William Ndmoubé, mais aussi Eric La République, ainsi que les interventions de James Lacroix et de l'incontournable Jacques Bilan. Pour finir en beauté avec Eyoum Certain. Avis aux différents annonceurs qui souhaitent accompagner le mouvement de la reconstruction du Cameroun et du sport camerounais. Une seule adresse, la Jewel Team officielle, dans les plateformes digitales. On répond au numéro WhatsApp plus 241 07 46 87 50. La Jewel Team, c'est la qualité, la passion et la vision au service du développement.
Ensure that Brazil
Je m'appelle Azam, je viens de Télévis Football. Je suis fier d'être la première internationale de football.
Bon après-midi, chers amis internautes. Ici, Magellan Miguel Mbok de la Jewel Team. Je suis en direct du stade militaire de Zimbawe qui se remplit progressivement avec les supporters.